Hey, Brad.
Hey, man.
Before this, I was with Rachel Coop,
Nice.
and I was at a coffee shop. I was working on stand-up material. She was working on grad school stuff. And
Hey, both important professions, okay? Okay? Hey, I don't want anybody to tell you otherwise, all right?
hey, look, I know where
Understand me?
I know where this is going. You're going to ridicule her career. Let me get ahead of it and say they're
Listen,
equal.
counseling's important too, okay? Comedy's not the only thing that matters in this world, Jacob.
Thank goodness you said that.
You can have an honest career being a counselor as well, okay?
If we don't have ditch diggers, we don't have the society that we have now. We need everyone.
People can be lawyers too. Not everyone can be doctors and stand-up comedians.
Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
I was really going to say some awful stuff about Rachel. No, oftentimes whenever I'm writing stuff, it's nice to have Rachel around just because I can just quickly be like, hey, does this make sense? Hey, do you relate to this? Hey, did your mom not want you to shower when it was thunderstorming outside?
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, great. So that's a weirdly relatable thing.
The thing.
Anyway, today I'm writing something and I was like, hey, random question. What comes to mind when I say like famous John F. Kennedy quote? And without skipping a beat, she just goes, I got shot in the head. I was like, that's a great answer.
Really?
But I don't think that was one of his.
Ask not what you can do for your country.
Yeah. Well, the only thing we have to fear is getting shot in the head.
The only thing we have to fear is sniper rifles in Dallas. Is that a good John F. Kennedy impersonation?
But yeah, I thought that was so funny. And just like, she may not know any famous quote. I'm worried about her. Like if I were to ask Rachel, like, hey, what's that famous Abraham Lincoln quote?
Four score, and I'll attack you from the west. If you are a racist, if you are a racist, I will attack you. Justin, put it in. Yeah, it's like what's the Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, and then Socrates.
Yeah. His was, I think it was a he. Was Socrates a he?
Oh, big time.
Who one of the bigger he's?
Let me tell you.
Socrates' famous one was let's get ready to rumble.
That's right.
I think before he started kind of his writings.
That's right.
Everyone started off with like either it's time or let's get ready to rumble.
And it's like 15 L. So it's like, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
And you remember that, like, I took philosophy. You take philosophy in college?
Of course.
And you have to do the vision boards out of the magazine clippings, of course.
That was my experience.
That's exactly what you do in philosophy in college, I'm sure. And there was that famous philosopher, Ananias.
Yes.
Ananias.
That guy had so many quotes.
Yes.
Or girl. I don't know.
Anonymous.
What was your favorite one from them?
The pennies are the earned better than given.
Yeah, because you give Mouse cookie.
Yeah.
And Brad, tell him your favorite. There's lots to choose from. Tell him your favorite Martin Luther King Jr. quote.
Stay out of Memphis. I think this tight beat means that it's going down with some random thoughts and white meat too. Midwest best friends eating fast food on repeat. So come along, let's have some fun and go ahead, get on your feet, cause it's the Ghostrunners podcast. Every Monday morning with Jake and Brad, Ghostrunners podcast.
All right, we're back. If you're new here, our names are Jake and Brad. And if you've been listening since the beginning, our names are Jake and Brad.
Real names, Jacob and Bradley.
Jacob and Bradley. If you've been listening since like the middle of the episodes, Jacob and Brad are our names. So now
yours is still the same, but mine's just like a staccato version of
Brad. But yeah, been a good day. Been at a coffee shop almost all day. My watch is telling me I've not stood up much. I've been sitting down all day.
You got some food at the coffee shop?
No, walked next door to Pie 5, got a quick pizza, walked back over to Summer Moon,
Fun.
Kept working.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was telling you, it's nice. Rachel and I have so much computer work we can both kind of do alongside each other. And I was telling you before this, I had to like, we'll call it reprimand. I had to reprimand Rachel. I had to put her in her place, really.
For what?
When we first started dating, when people were meeting Rachel for the first time and they're asking like, okay, Rachel, very nice to meet you. What do you do? And she would just very kindly and quickly be like, oh, I'm a student. And I would, and like in the moment, I'm like, these people think you're 19 years old. You got to tell them.
You did youth ministry. So
a long time ago.
Rachel?
I was like, look, We got to quit with the I'm just a student talk. We need a full context, full, biography. Tell them you've graduated college.
Grew up in a Christian home.
Yeah, if you started back then, that's fine.
Father was a farmer, but also a teacher. So it's okay, Like, you don't have to be ashamed of being a teacher,
Old-fashioned values.
Yes.
When you know, regardless of age.
Yes. That's what we've always said.
That's basically what she's saying. And
yeah. Give a whole resume.
You tell them that you've graduated college. Tell them you already have a master's degree.
Yes.
Tell them you had a job.
And then you had a full-time job.
And you're going back to school to get another.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. All right. Yeah. This is my pedophilia is at stake. You got to tell them.
Yeah. And Jake is canceled for. She said she was 25. I swear.
She said,
well, okay.
We didn't do anything illegal. Except play volleyball with some of her friends.
Except knock over some mailboxes. Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So it's been fine.
Student.
I haven't been canceled
yet.
Had some flights that have been canceled. I think they dug up some old tweets or something.
Yeah.
From the American Airlines account. And
put that one in the stand-up.
Come see me live.
So Rachel, have you ever had a flight canceled before? Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you for the stand-up? You have? Okay. Because I was thinking about canceling different kind of.
Let me just. In my notes I have Spirit Airlines old photo blackface. Does that make any sense? Or
does that work for you? Or
okay,
do you think United would make more sense? Okay.
What if I throw in United We Stand as kind of a tag at the end?
Yeah.
If I don't.
Okay.
Or you think just the homeschooler stuff? Oh, that reminds me. Someone came up. When was it? Rachel and I were at Messenger Coffee this week. Really nice guy. Came up. Actually, he didn't start off by saying he knew me from online or anything. He goes, "You're Jake, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" He goes, "I live in the house you used to live in too." I was like, "That's fun." Is that public domain? What's Zillow throwing out there these days? It was the Hyde Park one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes more sense." And then he was like, "By the way, I actually saw your stand-up comedy special.
Nice.
Really loved it. Loved all the homeschooler jokes. Those hit home." And I was like, "Oh, thank you, man." And I was like, "Wait, I don't think I said any homeschooler jokes." He was just like, "I could just tell. You probably wanted to say some homeschooler
Sheltered
jokes."
kid. Did you say? Maybe you didn't say homeschool. I thought you did at one point.
Either way.
You would know. You edited for 18 hours.
Totally get the sentiment, get the vibe. But it didn't dawn on me until an hour later. I was like, actually, well.
Dude, the sheltered kid's hot.
Every video we post.
Yeah.
Actually, Jean Shorts is hot. Our last 4 videos have been our best 4 videos in the past 2 months.
Jeans, really? I didn't know that for sure. Well, what about the house hunting one? House hunting's hot.
Out of their, in their time.
Okay.
In the first day.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. TikTok. 3 in a row we've had.
TikTok's finally popping off.
Because TikTok's a peaks and valleys kind of social media platform.
Yeah. She's hot and she's cold. She's yes and she's no.
we got in the 40s, 50s, thousands every single time so far. So
yeah,
we're doing all right.
Yeah.
So
what have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot of really, really normal things. I was trying to find notes for this week of what to talk about. And it's just been, a lot of work and family. My sister came into town from Southwest Kansas. And so she stayed with us one night, which was really fun because usually when my sister's in town, she stays with my parents, but my parents were gone in Alaska. And so my sister's like, "Can we stay with you?" And it was so much fun because it's just different when you have somebody stay at your house versus they visit for, even if they come for 4 hours at a time, it's way better if they're staying there. So I just loved, we got some really quality time with her and her kids for a day and a half. And then they left. And a day later, Catherine's 5 people from Catherine's family came and stayed with us.
Wow.
And they've been here all week. So needless to say, I've been in the shop a lot lately. No, I really have, but it's not it's completely coincidental. But yeah, Catherine's sisters and then 2 of their kids and then Catherine's mom have all been here. So it's just been a full house, which I really like. I think there's something about the extroverted side of me. I like when people are around, but I don't always have to interact with them. I was doing all my work in the shop and they were in the backyard just playing and stuff.
That's great.
And I really enjoyed it. I was like, this is fun to kind of have people, maybe they're watching me or maybe they're just around. I don't know.
Maybe they're watching me work.
Yeah. I think there's something to it of I kind of like doing that. So I think that's why sometimes I like going to a coffee shop because I'm like, maybe somebody sees me on my computer and they think, "Hey, cool guy on his computer." I don't really
Wait, what?
No, I like the idea of just being out in public and having some accountability.
Social accountability.
If someone walks by and they see I'm just looking at, YouTube or something, they're going to be thinking, this guy's not working.
Having social accountability is very different than how you presented it, which was, hey, cool guy.
Hey, cool guy. Why not you too?
He's on his computer.
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I hope your house continues to be a spot where people and your family come over, because it's a very cozy house. That's a house that I hope nieces and nephews like, yeah, Brad and Catherine's house. It's where like we spend Christmas Eve because it's cozy. It's fun. It could be the Bethlehem of Shawnee.
I like that.
Yeah.
Catherine just recently painted the front room of the basement. Like
always a project.
Always a project, brother.
Something, Catherine. Just
the next
chill.
thing is I'm making lockers for like our, where the bar used to be.
Yeah.
Putting the locker, little mud room, shoe bench.
That's gonna be cute.
Yeah,
Catherine.
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be functional.
Okay.
But anyway, but it's really cozy downstairs now because there's like kind of that front room that has a little like bed in it, and then there's also the other room that has, anyway, just great vibes. So I asked Hattie, actually, I was like, at dinner tonight, I was like, Hattie, what do you want me to say on the podcast about our week with Sloan, her cousin? And she said she wanted to tell everybody that they went to Andy's one night. We made s'mores last night on the deck. Very fun.
Saw Bo's chin was covered in marshmallow.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the Andy's thing was crazy, dude. Like, so Andy's is frozen custard, and we all know frozen custard melts minus 5 seconds before you actually even get it in your hands.
I don't know if I've noticed that it melts faster, but you're right. My Andy's is always Slurpee. The last half.
All frozen custard. I think what I understand about frozen custard is that it actually like is never actually frozen or like never like it like comes out. You know how it comes out in that.
It stays in like a goopy state.
Yeah, like and that's like as cold as it's ever been. I don't think it's like it was cold and it's already been made in
it's
the
like
machine.
The opposite of Dippin' Dots.
I believe so. Yeah, it's like, and so I actually went and picked up Andy's and brought it home. And I got the text from Catherine's sister, and they're like, let's just get 3 ice cream cones for the kids, and then we all want these things. I was like, how am I supposed to carry 3 ice cream cones? First
logistically, it can't happen.
And so she's like, well, just get them in a cup or something. So we put them upside down in a cup. Still, by the time I get home, those things
they can't be reconed by that point.
No, and they tried. The kids tried. But I mean, those kids eat cones at the snail's pace. And so it's like, I mean, it's going everywhere.
It's
down
soup.
their shirts.
It's brown soup.
And Bo had a white shirt on, white and blue shorts. I was like, Bo, like, I got to take off your shirt. And I take off a shirt and he goes, shorts too? And I said, let's do it, buddy. And so he's in a diaper because we gave up on potty training. Diaper and socks. Yeah, I know. Who saw that coming?
We either got to paint the basement or potty train Bo. We can't do both. One project at a time. He repaints the carpet or I repaint the basement. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. So, Bo's just living his best life with that thing.
You guys use bleach?
Probably not. I don't know.
Like for like a white shirt, like if it was stained, would you bleach it?
I don't really want to get into that too much.
All right, you go. Go on.
I get kind of frustrated at how my stuff gets stained sometimes. Like my comfort color shirts, like out of nowhere, will just have like spots on them. And I'm like, well, that shirt's ruined now.
Huh.
And
is it just residual bleach in the washer still?
I don't think it's bleach. No, it's not like that. It's like a greasy looking spot. Like it's like darker than
Let me do your laundry.
Okay, I would love that. I don't know if it's our machine or a detergent or whatever. So anyway, all great things.
Sorry I brought it up. You go, I don't want to talk about that.
Because I don't want to like hate on my wife. About anything my wife does every single article of clothing for me in the laundry.
Yeah.
And so and it's on me to like, if I do get like a intentional like a chocolate stain on my white shirt, I should be the one to put whatever I'm supposed to put on there. So I don't want to like have her listen and be like, well, Brad, that's not my fault.
You didn't tell me. You didn't put it on the stain list.
Yeah.
Like a list on your fridge.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever. I don't want to hate on her.
Got it.
Hattie says, Andy's s'mores, they went on lots of walks. They played in the sprinkler and they played in a splash pad in our backyard. How fun is that?
What's a splash pad?
It's actually a new term that like a lot of like swimming pools now have, like subdivision pools will have like a 0 entry, which means like no steps down. It just kind
0 entry. No, just look at it. No one can actually go in.
Yeah, no entry.
Yeah, ever since 9/11. Yeah, don't blame us.
Yeah, no,
blame the Saudis.
0 entry just means like, you know, like you would in an ocean or something where you just kind of walk into it rather than having to like jump in or step down
no stairs.
A ladder
No, okay. 0 entry.
But it's like, yeah, so it's like a splash pad is just, you know, anything, just fountains and stuff in that little like really shallow area. Cool. I'm sure you've seen them and stuff. So, and we have a little version of that at our house.
No way.
Spray, like,
good for you guys.
No, it's like
no.
It's like a kiddie pool that doesn't blow up all the way, basically.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. So anyway, that's been the stuff with family. Oh, did you see the video of us with the all those jets flying over our house?
Of course, baby. Of course. Most patriotic thing I saw all week.
Oh, it was awesome. I got home and like the first time they flew over my house. They were so close. I think I could have, touched them.
Knocked you over.
Yeah. If it was Uncle Rico, I could have hit him with a football. But they flew over and I was like, that is so cool. I want to get that on tape or video, whatever. I'm so old.
Jeez.
And I was like, I want to put it on Patreon because back when the Chiefs were in the AFC Championship, all these flights.
Great game to go to.
Yeah, I'm sure. But all these planes like would practice on Saturday, like when they're doing their flyover. Like we're on a flight path or whatever.
You're in a good location.
I guess so.
Bethlehem, North Star.
Yeah, and so I was like, I know they're gonna do it again, and so I was getting ready to film it, and as I'm like just having a casual conversation, like, "What's up, patrons? I'm here in my backyard, just hanging out with my kids and Catherine, and I can hear them coming.
I was like, okay, they're coming.
I can hear, and Catherine just goes, Brad, you're gonna miss it. And I stopped the recording. I was like, I know. I was trying to be like casual about it, and then just like sing right away. And so
yeah, that's funny. That's a good idea.
It was gonna be like, I'm just hanging out.
That's funny.
And so then the kids, one of the favorite things they do these days is like they love getting in my truck and pretending to drive it. And so we were all three of us were in the truck, and I was like, and Hattie Catherine and Rosie were on the trampoline, kind of a little bit like far away, but still within earshot. And so I'm doing the same thing, trying to do it over again. And I'm like, yeah, so we're just here hanging out in the truck. Like they're just doing, and Catherine just goes, Brad, you're going to miss it again. And I still was like jokingly like frustrated. I wasn't like truly mad at her, but I go, Catherine, I know, something like that. And I probably shouldn't even be talking about this podcast because she was legitimately upset. Like she was like, because apparently because of these like planes flying over and being so cool, some of our neighbors, like the smokers, were out on their front lawn. And so Catherine, she's like, you were screaming at me with our neighbors right there. And they heard you saying that.
Oh,
and
no.
And so she like went inside. And I was like, oh my gosh.
She gave you a big thumbs down.
Oh,
Brad.
No
thanks.
I don't mean to be too mean, but... And so, just immediately, we did that video, 20s versus 30s marriage. Like I went inside immediately and I was just like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. I was just joking around. I suck. Please forgive me. Yeah. Like just nip it in the bud as quickly as I can.
People love that. You clearly hit the nail on the head with that. A lot of comments like love the honey, I'm sorry, I suck.
There's something deeper there, I think, but yeah, anyway. So, that was pretty funny because Catherine I even like kind of lectured her of like, no, I was trying to do this video.
So what the idea is that it's almost like I don't know they're coming to the right of her head.
Yeah.
And then next time, Brad, I can hear them.
Brad! It's like, I know. And then after that, it was like, this isn't worth it anymore. But then they kept coming by. So I was like, I got to do it eventually. So
that's funny. Catherine sounds like the worst person to take with you on like sing a magic show. Or something, just like blurting out like it was there and now I don't see it.
Wait,
Brad,
what?
where did it?
Yeah.
You don't think she actually sawed her in half, do you?
How do you do that? It's like, I'm not going to tell you. Fun fact, Catherine was actually sawed in half one time and I was there. I witnessed it.
Did it make you jealous?
Yeah. Cause they were like, do we have anybody under 125 pounds? And I said, no.
You said, not yet. Wait till I start fasting.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine if I were 124 pounds? I would not look well.
It would, yeah. Compassion International would sponsor you.
Somebody would have to like go to my house and be like, is everything okay at home?
How is the fast going?
It's fine.
The intermittent fast.
I'm getting pretty used to it, to be honest. I still have my coffee in the morning, and so that's enough for me. And yeah, I don't hate it.
Really?
Yeah,
just
good.
Eating from noon to 8?
Noon to 8. Yeah, I'll be honest, every once in a while I fudge a little bit on that. Like the other day, I think at Trey's, we ordered Hawaiian Bros and it came at like 11:37 or something. I was like,
okay.
I'm not going to wait 23 minutes to eat this thing.
We already waited kind of a long time as it was. By the time I got mine, it was a little chilly.
Oh no. That day was, I don't remember what time it was, but like a week before that.
I see.
Anyway. But yeah, it's all good. I've been enjoying it. I've lost, like 13 pounds. So,
whoa,
lift that in your hand. That's a little hefty brick.
I don't care where you put the 13-pound weight. That's hefty.
Yeah. So I'm getting there.
13. That's all it takes. Just eating at different times.
I'm also eating differently.
You are?
Obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm eating more protein and less sugar and not drinking pop as much. I think I've only drank pop like twice.
Not bad.
I'll be honest. I sipped your Dr. Pepper.
How was it?
I filled it up. It was nice.
It's a good batch.
Yeah. It was, but I messed up. I sipped the fizz first of all.
Okay.
And so I was like, that was a waste of some calories. Friggin' fizz. And then I waited till it went down. I sipped a little more and then I refilled it for you. So, yeah, man, everything's good. How are you doing? What's the latest?
The latest is been working on stand-up material a lot because I guess when this comes out, this Thursday and Friday, or this Friday and Saturday, I think we have shows. We're back.
Oh, wow.
We're in Virginia Beach.
So earlier before the podcast, when I was like, are you going anywhere anytime soon? You're like, yeah, I'm going somewhere in September.
Yeah. So forgot about, okay. So yeah, next week I'll be gone.
You're going to the V Beach.
Thursday through like Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot about that. So yeah, for the most part, I'm excited. Now,
sorry, go ahead.
Now, last time that I was doing comedy clubs, I remember I started out, I only had to do 5 minutes. I was like,
that's what I was going to ask. Like, what are you expecting to do now?
And this time it's 20. So that's a lot of like new stuff.
That's a lot of stuff to come up with.
It's a lot of stuff that has not been tested.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I feel okay about it. I don't think anything, I'm not going to stay on any one topic long enough for it to like really bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, still, it's a lot of jokes thrown in there. You're like, I hope this works.
What were you doing? Were you doing 20 on tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
at least you could like memorize that fine.
And if nothing else, like the one thing is nice is we have not gone to Virginia Beach ever before.
Yeah, you can always lean back.
So I could do the old stuff fine. Even though the special's out, it's like, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Not that many people have seen it in the grand scheme of things. So I'll probably close with jokes that work.
Yeah.
That I know work, and maybe open with jokes that work.
Dude, how exciting though to do new jokes.
I'm so excited, especially the comedy club environment. It's just like, it's so much more intimate. Yes. Crowd work is more fun. It's easier. Yeah, just get a lot of reps. We're going to do 4 shows in 2 days and just like get a lot of practice. I'll know pretty quickly like what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's just fun. Just been writing a ton, and I'm more prepared than usual at this time, but I still have a lot to memorize.
What goes into the writing process? Like, do you just sit there and just think about life, or do you like try to have a strategy behind like, okay, let me think about, things I do. And I don't know, like, how do you come up with things? Do you have any kind of...
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how we're similar and how we're different when it comes to like writing material. Because I feel like I never really shut my brain off when it comes to like writing on premises. Yeah. The premises for videos, premises for jokes. You kind of like just adjust the funnel. Like, where is the funnel going right now? Mm-hmm. Like today, what did I have a idea for? Oh, this was like a video idea. I don't know if it'll be Jean Shorts or the girls channel, but like we could do each one. We could have like female photography school. I think that could be like a video idea of like how girls take pictures themselves. They hip hop their arms, they like props, whatever. Or the girls could do a video on like boyfriend photography school. Because there's like a way that like the Instagram boyfriends, they need to know how to. Right. So like, sure, that I could probably turn that into a bit, but that seems to make more sense for videos. Yeah. There's other times you're writing stuff down and it's like my mom wouldn't let me, take a shower when it was thunderstorming outside. That's an observation. It's like, maybe that's a stand-up bit. So I'm always writing down premises, and then it's like, all right, let's go write some stand-up. That means I'm going to a coffee shop and I'm looking over the notes that I've written down. I'm like, all right, what still seems funny? Yeah.
And try to expand on that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Like just random stuff. Here's I just opened up new stand-up premises, the note.
Let's see it.
Convincing a girl she farted, literally gaslighting. That one I don't think it's gonna turn into anything.
That might be a good like I don't know, a one to keep in the back for like a quick one-liner. Like if something just naturally like works its way out. Yeah, it's like I don't think I can expand on that a ton, but if it comes up, I got something. Right. Like what do? You are a gastroentomologist.
Get a load of this.
Talk about gaslighting.
And then this next one came from a conversation I had with my dad a couple weeks ago. You can't leave a bad review skydiving. Even of the bad ones, the furthest they get is having trouble opening the.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's like a classic. Like, it's funny.
That one you could maybe expand on. The idea of reviews, I think, is expandable. Yeah. Like when companies like, you write a review on that. It's like, I don't want homework. That feels wrong. So, so you sit down and it's like, all right, what still seems funny to me? What feels like I could get an entire bit out of this? And honestly, what I always end up coming back to, I don't know why I try to come up with these like clever observations or anything. It always just comes back to my own life. That's the easiest stuff. I think people can tell when you're making something up or just when it's like reality.
Oh, totally.
And so I'm going to talk about my childhood. I'm going to talk about my speech impediment.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
anyone who knows me will be like, oh, that's funny.
Right.
Like literally today, I think I'm going to do jokes on how I can't say rural very well. I'm like, why not? I
Yeah.
like say it on stage. I'm going to have trouble saying it. That's
Yeah.
funny. I'm going to talk about my like Christian college experience. Like that's
Yeah.
just like a lot of material. Even if you haven't related to it, I think I can like bring you into that world
Yeah.
and then do jokes about it.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of irony that happened. I've told the story. The dean of students called me in his office and told me I wasn't funny.
Yeah.
The only C I've ever got was in social media marketing.
Yeah.
You know, and then the little joke I'm going to do, a little preview is like, and someone else told me that like I forgot what I've written down. Like I would never visit the most beautiful city in the world. And here I am. And then they like applaud or whatever. I'm like, and I've still never been. You know, you got to find a joke that includes a city in it. Like last time I had it,
people love the
you got to write something for the
local
people
stuff. Oh yeah.
And I think what I'm most excited for, the most like open-ended part of it is like, I think it also is smart in my position to start with jokes about Trey. I think that warms people up to me. I think it's like, okay, we get this guy. Even if you don't know me, it's like, oh, cool.
He's one of them. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know who he is, but it sounds like, okay, I like Trey. He worked with Trey, me like him kind of thing. So I think that makes sense. And so what I'm going to do is kind of do some jokes. Like people ask what it's like to work with Trey. Let me tell you what it's really like and do some jokes. And then I think some crowd work I might do, which I have no plan, no route, which is like, I'm just going to open it up. Anyone else have any questions about Trey? And just see what I get. And just try to make it funny. Like, what do you guys want to know?
No, I like that because this is what you should be doing at these kind of shows. Is like
more open-ended than not.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And if it goes poorly, like, okay, that was 2 minutes. Like,
yeah, it's like, all right, moved on. Okay, you guys mainly just wanted to know about, his wife and nothing about it. I don't know or whatever it ends up becoming. I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot, but
that's great.
So for the most part, just writing about my own life. I'm going to write about childhood. I'm going to write about high school. I'm going to write about college. I'm going to write about Rachel. You know, it's just.
Well, I think writing about relatable things is just it's like it's what am I trying to say? Like you can be a 7 out of 10, but if it's relatable, it goes up to a 9 out of 10, in my opinion. You know, like 7 out of 10 funny. It doesn't have to be as.
But you relate to that experience.
But it's like, oh, you do that.
If you could elbow someone next to you.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
I've literally done that.
Yes, no, that's you. That's you. Like
it's the real life version of tagging your friend in the comment section. Like they need to see this.
Exactly. Whereas like, okay, this is a ridiculous situation. It's clearly not true, but it's like pretty funny. 7 out of 10 stays at a 7 out of 10
because you haven't been there.
That's my theory. I think other people don't believe that, but I totally agree with that. Like,
and I think I'm trying to have the perspective of like, Jake, you're still so brand new in this in the grand scheme of things. Like, don't try to be, Jim Gaffigan yet. Don't try to be Jerry Seinfeld. Just like write what's easy for you to write. You can make them laugh. Don't try to do anything too much. And 10 years from now, maybe you can have something more to say, or you can talk on whatever, pop culture more or whatever.
But just look at Gene Shorts and the success that we have. Like the videos that we do best are like very easy for us to write.
Conservative dad, sheltered kid.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's like, okay. Yeah. Very easy to like know exactly what to say for this. Yeah. Whereas like union worker didn't do great. It's a fun character, but it's like, I don't really know what they say. I'm just making stuff up here.
Union worker.
So anyway.
Yeah, that's great. I was golfing with a guy yesterday. I got randomly paired up with him and he was asking me, no, Dustin.
Okay.
Dustin and his stepson, Hayden, I think.
Okay.
And anyway, he was asking, he's like, how do you guys like how do you come up with, like, you guys make a video like moms when it's back to school? He's like, how do you know? Like, how do you do that? And I was like, that's a good question. I don't know if anyone's ever asked that. I was like, I don't think Trey and I are really that special. I think humans in general are constantly observing things, and it might be subconscious or not. And if you have a job where it's like, make light of this, I think you can fill in the blanks. I think you can safely assume probably what happens. I think you can, like, as much as we scroll and we see tweets and we see memes, I think you do kind of know what happens. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was kind of surprised when we first started writing that like Trey will Google stuff sometimes and like Google.
That's true too. Sometimes.
Yeah, or he'll like watch somebody else's video and like kind of be he doesn't copy it, but he's like inspired by like, okay, they did whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, well that, it's not like it's just like all in our heads and like, we always just like know everything. It's like, okay, let's search what the 5 most popular clothing brands are, or whatever.
Totally.
So
yeah,
but yeah, that is it. Yeah, it's true. Sure. Yeah. Anyway,
but golfing with those two yesterday was kind of fun because I think on hole 2 they asked me what I did for a living. Told them I make videos, whatever. And then hole 3, they asked me. I'm trying to remember how it went because I thought it was so fascinating. it was like they kind of knew who I was, but it wasn't until they described you that it pieced together for them who I was, which that was fascinating because I am standing 6 feet from them and they're not sure who I am. But once they described what you look like, they're like, he's a blonde haired bigger guy. I was like, he's blonde haired,
super muscular,
intermittent fasting guy. I don't know about blonde hair, just lost 13 pounds guy.
I mean, lucky number 13.
Blonde hair installing lockers in his family room guy. Anyway, I thought it was fascinating that
blonde hair owns his own splash pad kind of guy. Let's see.
Blonde hair, very familiar with Martin Luther King Jr.'s quotes guy.
Blonde hair, yeah. Gives his family free Airbnbs kind of thing.
Bigger guy.
That's not, yeah.
Anyway, something about I think my takeaway from that was this is gonna be a weird comparison, but Ninja the gamer, I think what helped him get so popular is that he had blue hair.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes I think you need just characteristics. I'm standing right there in front of him, and he was like, "I don't know if this is the guy."
Well, that's funny. That's funny you say that because I think so often, Jake gets recognized all the time. I don't get recognized. I think it's because Jake has this awesome hair that's
really
flying up. Oh yeah, I don't.
Let's get it higher. Let's get it higher.
I think so. And whereas I'm often when I'm in public, I have not put anything in my hair. I am in a paint stained shirt, athletic shorts. No one's taking a double look at that.
Your
guy.
Hoodie looks like Ninja. Your face doesn't have the Ninja look.
Yeah. So, but that's funny that you think that about
I thought
me.
the opposite. Yeah. I don't know. Could be wrong.
The Midwest is just full of just tubbos. So I think I'm just one and the same.
Anyway, it was fun. And of course,
that's awesome.
His stepkid, Hayden, is 14.
Okay.
And so I think I was the first YouTuber he's ever met. So I thought it was cool. And what was really fun, because he wasn't really golfing. He was kind of just chilling on the cart. And without Phil, it felt like every 5 minutes, he'd yell something out that he found out about me. I get done with the putt and he'd be like, "Dude, you been on Ellen?" And I'm like, yeah, I have. 10 minutes go by. "Whoa, you dropped all these limes in Walmart." I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a good video." 10 minutes go by. "What was Australia? You pet a kangaroo?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was an Australia trip."
Dive, yeah.
He just found all sorts of stuff. Actually, the first thing he ever found, he goes, "Dude, you proposed out of a helicopter." And that one actually threw me. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Oh no, that was way." I was like, "Don't go to my YouTube channel. Don't get off of there. You got it.
Don't go to Triple Jake's YouTube channel, guys." Okay.
I was like, that was way back in the day. Shout out Dimcheck though. I just filmed a proposal. But yes, that was really fun. Just constantly. And his dad was he pulled me aside. He's like, "Hey, I don't want to be rude, but can we get a picture?" I was like, "Dude, of course. You can get anything you want. I don't care. We're out here for 3 hours together. What am I going to say no to a photo?"
Right.
Yeah, of course. So it was fun.
That's awesome. Speaking of fans and friends, I feel the need to correct myself from last week. We were talking about Vander Goons.
Yeah.
We said his name was Alex. His name is definitely not Alex.
Yeah.
I felt like such a tool. And
it's not Alex at all.
Not even close. It's not. Yeah, it's Matthew. Matt. And so sorry to Goons, man. He's like, "Dude, my name's not Alex, but thanks anyway, man." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." I blamed you I commented back. I was like, Jake said it was Alex, so I just went with it. I think.
Yeah, I think and then mom was like, "Yeah, that sounds right." Yeah. You're the one who spent a couple hours with him. But yeah, that sounds right.
Exactly. So sorry to Goons. 2 episodes in a row though. Shout out to Goons. The Goons.
Guns.
Can I tell you a story about Peter?
Tell me a story about it. Dude, today, Peter and I were texting, which is cool when this happens. We had been texting all morning, and then he walked into Summer Moon. I was "Dude."
Yeah.
It's awesome. And then classic Peter, he's in there for, I'm not exaggerating, 6 minutes. And he leaves. He comes in saying "Yeah, I came in to get some work done." Like, great. And then he leaves in 6 minutes. He's like, "Computer died." And I was like, dude,
Peter is awesome.
And just laughs the whole time. He's like, "Computer died." Classic.
Yeah, how it goes.
It just leaves.
So Peter is, first of all, one of the greatest dudes ever.
Yeah.
Really wanted to name Bo Peter initially, because I just love Peter so much, and Peter Coring. And anyway, but Peter is the president of K-Life right now. Did you know that?
President?
Yeah, he's so I'm on the board, Captain's on the board. Peter is the president of the board.
President Peter.
Wow. So I don't know what he walked in with his computer at Summer Moon, but he had his computer and he had a stack probably of 100 pieces of paper worth of different printouts to pass out. And he had just shut his computer on the 100 pieces of paper. So I don't know if he was doing that at Summer Moon, but I mean, it was like, like it is 85% at most closed. Like it's like not even close.
Like, is that easier to carry around? It can't be.
And there's no way that's good for your computer.
Put the papers on, just close your laptop fully.
And put it on top.
Yeah. Have it like one big
Get a binder clip maybe or something. Like, oh, it was killing me. But that's just Peter for you, right? Like,
yeah. It's like there's an easier way to do it, but there's something so lovable about this.
Yes. Like, yeah, for a while, I know that he lost his phone, and so he was only able to text on his computer.
Yeah.
And so like, he was like, hey man, sorry, I didn't get back to you for 8 hours. I can only see this on my computer. Yeah. Anyway, just super lovable. He told me a story. Has he told you about the road rage story?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So just picture it with me because I think it was so funny. I'll try to do it justice. But essentially he's driving down, what is that? Ward Parkway, whatever that street is,
Love Ward Parkway.
By the K-Life house, and it kind of like dips around by McGonagall's and like kind of like forks into something. Ward Parkway Plaza or whatever that is.
Yeah.
So he's doing that. And I think, one lane is about to end. I think the right lane needs to merge or whatever. And somebody was coming up on his tail while somebody else was like going in front of him. I believe this is the details. And so Peter basically pulled a Scott and got really mad at this guy and like honked, like laid on the horn, honked at him, and then like went up next to him and like was like kind of like looking at him, getting mad or whatever. And then he said, and the guy was like getting pretty mad back. And then they stopped at a stoplight, and the guy gets out of his car and like walks over to Peter's driver's side door, and Peter like locked the door really quick, and the guy tried to like open the door.
Oh,
like
so Grand Theft Auto him.
If it were unlocked, he would have opened that door. And Peter said the guy was just yelling, every expletive you can imagine. And Peter said, I just put my hands on the steering wheel and just stared straight ahead and waited for that thing to turn green.
Oh,
isn't
Peter.
that amazing? Just imagine this guy be like, listen, and Peter's just staring straight ahead.
Peter's acting like he's just listening to the radio.
I texted him he told me that on Sunday afternoon. I texted him Monday, like just laughing out loud, replaying that story in my head. He's like, that was genuinely one of the like scariest like moments of my entire life. I thought I was gonna die. And so anyway, I just love the idea of Peter. I mean, Peter's the same one that we told used a water bottle to get gas that one time. I mean, Peter is like Isaac, I think, grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
Like Peter hustles super hard for, like he like knows so much about reselling things on eBay. Like I see that in Isaac's future.
Yeah,
something
totally.
like that.
Yeah.
So
he's a savvy guy. I love talking to Peter about like investment properties and stuff. He was like, he's educated me on all this stuff. And but at the same time, he refuses to use a phone case, which you think, oh, good for him. He probably takes good care of it. He keeps dropping his phone and he breaks it. And he keeps having to get a new phone. And then he doesn't put a case on that. And he drops that.
And he'll always get like an iPhone, 7.
Something that you forgot exists. Like an iPhone XRC.
It's like, they used to make them that small?
Yeah.
What is that, dude?
It's something with buttons that you haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, the home button.
Oh wow, did you have to like specially order that charger, dude? Like, what is that thing?
Yeah, he texted all of us like a week ago. He's like, hey guys, just learned another lesson on why you need phone cases. Does anyone have an old iPhone laying around?
Oh man. And that's what makes, that whole just full circle with the computer thing, because that's just so funny. Like, yeah, of course his computer is probably fully charged when he got in there. Like,
it's just so old. Honestly, yeah, I told that story.
Or he just like does not take great care of it because he's smushing papers in there.
I told Rachel that story. She's like, oh, well, you should have given me your charger. And I was
There's
like,
no way.
His laptop was so thick.
Yeah.
That it looked like a MacBook. It was silver like a MacBook, but it was the thickness of like the first computer ever.
Are you sure it was thick?
It was.
Or was there something in there, Jake?
It could have been. He had an
entire, was there some loose leaves?
He had a phone book smashed in it.
Yeah.
That's so funny that President of K-Life is like honking at somebody. Then just like stone colding, just
staring straight ahead. Oh man, it was
that
great.
is scary.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everybody's an alpha when it comes to honking, but when someone else gets out of their car, oh, that's not the type of person you want to mess with. No way.
No way. No. And the fact that he tried to open his door.
That shows that he's not all bark. Like this guy was willing to like do some stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't just gonna like stand in front of a car and like yell at him for a while, intimidate him. He's like, no, I'm coming.
What do you think it is about the road and about driving that gets people so riled up?
Well, let's first and foremost be clear that it wasn't just any road. It was a road in Missouri. Just right on the eastern side of the state line.
Objection. Unrelated?
Objection. There's no road rage that ever happens in Kansas. I'm sure that's true. I don't know. I think it's just there's something about like I've gotten frustrated recently. I feel like people have been driving crazy around me.
Don't give me that. That's what everyone's
What?
just that everyone thinks their town has the worst drivers. Everyone thinks
No.
that,
I don't usually think that. I feel like the last week though, I've thought that.
full moon probably.
Maybe.
Just add up all
End
these
of the
things.
summer, people are getting antsy. They're getting aggravated.
Mercury retrograde.
90 degrees again. Temperature in band.
Excuse me?
I don't know. 90 degrees. Trying to make a joke.
Nick Lachey.
Nick Lachey. So I don't know what it is. It was just, yeah, I feel like people, and maybe it's just me driving like 6 miles an hour slower than I realize. Like I never look at my speed. I just kind of drive,
Good for you.
you know,
That's how they teach it.
hey, 10 and 2 and just straight ahead, no matter what. Don't look at the speedometer, no matter what. No, on the highway, it's like, maybe I was going 62 instead of 68. And so therefore it seems like everyone's driving crazy around me. I don't know. Anyway.
You want to know who also reminds me of Peter? Just real quick. Rachel just texted me. First of all, she said crud. Shout out to Shelter Kid. Crud. I think I left my purse at Summer Moon. This girl is leaving things everywhere consistently.
Especially a purse.
Oh, yeah.
Purse.
Nothing is off limits with her. There is nothing that is valuable enough for her to not leave it behind.
Also, she texted, it's 10 o'clock right now. When did you leave Summer Moon? 6:30? No, 7:30.
She left when it closed at 8 p.m. So a good 2
Took her
hours.
2 hours
Yeah.
to realize.
Ah, crud.
Oh, so you guys didn't even drive together?
No, we drove separate.
Where are her keys? That's what that's that.
Who knows?
It's like, yeah, you leave your credit card, but not your wallet. I don't know. Anyway,
Who knows?
that's great. Yeah, I think there's something just so innately like there's yin and yangs in every relationship, and they're not always the same, but like usually one person's, organized, one person's a little more, flighty, one person's more spontaneous, one person's more like, let's have a plan,
Yeah. And I would rather have it this way, where she is very like socially aware, very observant, very like intelligent when it comes to like life and, you know, social situations, and just a little ditzy when it comes to like belongings.
Yeah.
That's way better.
And to be fair, Rachel, I think I've said this on the podcast, probably 50% of the time when I leave the house to leave, like to go somewhere, I have to come back in and get my keys.
Smart people can still leave things behind.
Yeah.
Look at the Left Behind series. Jerry Leahy, Jerry B. Jenkins.
Those
Tim
characters?
Leahy? Yeah, no, those are the authors.
Okay.
Jerry B. Jenkins, for sure. My dad will know.
Steve?
Buck.
Should we call him?
Kirk Cameron. Raymond Steele.
Keep going.
Chloe.
Okay, one
That's
more.
it.
Come on.
Nikolai Carpathia. There we go.
What is that?
He was the Antichrist. Doesn't he just sound like a villain?
Is that the guy's name, the character's name?
That was the character's name.
Okay.
Nikolai Carpathia.
Wow.
Carpathia.
Carpathia.
I think Carpathia was the ship that took off around the same time the Titanic did too.
Carpathia. I'm trying to think of a pun and I can't think of one. Carpathia.
Peter was upset because the car was on the wrong Carpathia. Let's move on. The flight was canceled.
I volunteered at Bo's classroom, the nursery, Sunday school on Sunday. Jeez, sorry. I did.
So there I am.
So just imagine this with me. You're driving around in your car.
What's the deal with nurseries? I mean, Sunday. It was a classroom. It was a school on Sunday.
And then I said,
the premise takes 5 tries to get to. What's the deal with airlines?
What
I
do you-
mean, the hallway or the terminal. What's the deal with the security? Why do they make the whole plate out of the airline food?
What do you think of? What do you think? I know that Kyle Mooney, I guess, has kind of already done this, but what do you think about the idea of like doing stand up, but purposely like being really bad?
Dude, I love the idea. I could never do it. I don't have it in me to do it. I can't I couldn't commit to it long enough for people to realiise, oh, he's trying to do this.
It'd be hard to break that. Like once you get a reputation for it, it's like this guy's great. But like for the longest time, people are gonna be like, this guy is bad, and I feel uncomfortable right now.
It would have to be a thing. You know what would help is like if I knew it was filmed. It's like, okay, even if this flops in person, we can caption it later with like trying my absolute worst at stand-up comedy, and then it could maybe be funny.
That's a fun. We should do that for like just for fun sometime. Go to an open mic night and do it. You want to?
Maybe. It still sounds intimidating.
Okay.
Just do as
if
bad
anything
as...
else. If anything else, let's get all our friends together and I'll go and do it. I would like to do it. I think that sounds really fun to me.
I would be uncontrollable. I would be laughing so hard if you were up there legitimately bombing on purpose. Oh my gosh. I don't know if there's anything funny or not.
I know.
That's so funny to me.
I know. And so like if I could actually do that, like
oh, that's so funny to imagine.
I know. Anyway.
Who is I was thinking the other day, who's the first guy to invent shorts? Is he like, let's cut these pants in half?
You guys know you have shorts? Shorts.
Guy in the front knows what I'm talking.
Shorts. The shorts. 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 So anyway, that's where zippers on shorts, right? It's hard to even do, honestly. Like it takes some practice, I think.
You gotta have a punchline, but it just can't be good at all.
Yeah. And I was like, that's not shorts. That's just a sewing kit put with thread together.
You see, the U.S. government gave $4 billion to fund the war against Russia overseas. I think we should have just given them a big banner that said, "Ukraine, do it yourself." Am I right? Or am I right?
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
This guy hates
You know what I'm talking about, Boris.
Hold on. This guy, he's giving me the thumbs. Oh, it's a middle finger.
Whoa,
he gets it. Okay.
It's a big thumb. Yeah, I think that'd be so funny. Just absolutely like struggle up there.
You're
and
right.
Because like, especially if other people aren't in on the joke.
Great. Let them sit in silence.
No, the silence makes it funnier. They
would go home telling their friends about the confidence this guy had.
Yeah.
Like it was silent and he didn't even care. He sat in it.
The crazy thing is that there's so many people that suck on accident that go. Like it's like so bad. And maybe they're all trying to do it and we just don't know.
I guess it's possible.
Maybe after every single person that goes on open mic night, I'll go up to him and be like, "Hey man,
hey, keep
just out of curiosity, was that supposed to be bad or are you just not good at this?"
No, you don't even ask. You just assume like, "Hey dude, I love the bit you're doing where you're like a bad stand-up comedian.
Can you kind of teach me some of that?
Keep doing it. People are gonna catch on."
Yeah. How do you really make it so nobody laughs? Like people weren't even laughing at how bad it was. It was just like
you were in the perfect sweet spot. Like a bad, they say a bad advertisement where it's like, people don't remember it.
Yeah.
You captured that.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
Like you're like that one advertisement. It's like, well, no, I can't even remember it.
It was so neutrally bad.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
You're like, yeah.
What was your name? I don't even remember.
I'm not gonna remember your face at the end. I'm not gonna recognize you in public. You don't have high enough hair. So anyway.
I gotta get my hair high again.
Yeah, dude, get it up there. We did a 90s video this week and we changed our hair. That is literally all we did to make ourselves be in the 90s.
Yeah, we didn't know we were going to shoot it that day, so it could have been better. It could have been way better. But that's the thing, that everyone loved the Chick-fil-A video, and we basically showed up there without a script. And people loved it so much, and it's like, man, we could have done so much better with that too. But
so true, dude.
It's kind of the nature of what we do, though. I think, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. Sometimes you wish like it could have been better, but other times it's like, hey, we're already on to the next. If a video flops, it's all good. We're on to the next.
I hope the 90s one, it's like, I don't even know what to really call it because we did stuff from the 90s and 2000s.
It was like, if you grew up in the 90s, this video will be relatable, but not necessarily everything occurred in the 90s.
Right. Because like my sisters, I feel like grew up in the 90s, but they were born in, early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, they're going to get some of these, but other ones are going to be like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
It's like perfectly like contoured to our age people. But anyway, I think it's just going to bring back a lot of nostalgia. Like there's just parts where we're just like literally just sitting there, like
just
saying,
naming things.
Can I get some fruit by the foot? Like just over like,
yeah. Hey, are these your Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah.
Just anything we can think of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what number is Ray Langford? What else do we have? Yeah, whose Poppin' Extreme is this?
Right. Yeah. We watched the Chicago Bulls theme or intro. Anyway, all these fun things. So I think it'll be at least a little bit of a blast from the past, but
I think it'll be like the Adulthood Wins video where it's like, this brought back a lot.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, literally all we did was like do our hair differently.
Copyright.
Frick. I was getting into it.
No, we'll come back to it. Just a little bit at a time.
Okay. I can't wait to punch when that
little,
guitar chord is.
A little bit at a time.
Okay.
Fun 90s video though.
So the thing that started this whole tangent was that I was helping out in Bo's Sunday school class.
Okay, got it.
Catherine was not feeling great, so it was just me in there. I mean, but it has to be two people. So it's me and like the children's director basically at the church.
Hey-o.
And so it's Bo's age kids. So like anywhere from like 1.5 to 2.5, probably.
20s kids will know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's this one kid specifically, we've helped out in this class. We help out probably once every month or so. This kid, every single time when he gets dropped off, just cries and is sad. And every once in a while kind of gets better, but like mainly cries the whole time because his parents are gone.
Been there, buddy.
Yeah. And Hattie was pretty bad back in the day too. So I always am like,
probably got good parents.
Yeah, exactly. He really loves his mom. But there was probably like, I think there were 7 kids total. There was like 5 boys, 2 girls. And the boys were all really fun. And so we were all like kind of throwing this ball around playing catch, basically, whatever, mainly just throwing it at their chest. They hit it and then they run away and get it. But, so this kid, we'll call him, what's his name?
Alan.
We'll call him Alan. So Alan, is crying like intermittently the whole time. The way I fast, he cries.
Got it.
And he is just struggling. Finally kind of gets over. I was like, Alan, you want to come play catch with us? Like he's just been kind of over off to the side, like crying. And he's like, kind of sniffling and comes closer. And Bo had the ball. I was like, Bo, it's your turn to throw it. Can you throw it to Alan? Bo runs, just so excited, runs up within 18 inches of Alan, he's a southpaw, brings his left arm back, chucks it and nails Alan in the face.
Welcome to Sunday school, Alan.
You think Alan was fine before? He's crying now. He's just right back into it. And it was one of those things where, Bo had no intention to hurt him, but at the same time doesn't understand that like you don't have to be right next to somebody to throw it to, because that's how he throws it to me so often. He just runs right up to me and throws it. But
what I'm imagining? Andrew Thurbush is probably going to like Photoshop this and make it into a video. Bo is Randy Johnson. Alan's head is that bird. Just nailed the bird.
I like the idea of it being like Billy Madison, where he's like, now you're all in big trouble.
That's great too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's all sorts of things that Bo could do there, but I guess he's kind of taking after his dad with the Sundance thing where he's just pelting people right in the face.
Sundance.
Get him, Sundance! And Bo's like, okay, why not?
Welcome to Sunday school. Hey, Alan, your parents home? Nobody's home upstairs. Boom!
Your parents home, dude. I listened back to that. I was so uncomfortable. I was like, golly. I was trying so hard to be like this kind, like good, well-intentioned person. Instead, it seemed like I was the next person on To Catch a Predator.
It is too bad that you yelled it loud enough where like Ring doorbell cameras definitely could pick up the audio of like, blonde man asked, are your parents home? Picked it up just fine on the audio.
Right. Blonde man.
Here we go.
Ready, here it goes. Oh, no! No!
You missed it. You didn't miss it. It's still coming.
Okay, it's going to come quick. It's going to come quick. So you better give me like a quick, like right before you press it. I got to get ready, dude.
Dude, that was a legitimate. Oh, no.
Dude, we had.
Your toy just got taken.
I was so upset. We had, so there's a lot of talk about jock jams on this podcast. We had the CD called Jock Rock. Okay. There's Jock Jams and Jock Rock.
Okay.
First song on Jock Rock, guess what it was? Sirius by Alan Parsons Project. Oh my gosh, dude. I listened to it all the time.
Did you really?
Oh, dude. I loved it.
That's awesome.
And I didn't even know there was like the Chicago Bulls thing at that point.
You loved it for what it was.
I just thought it was really cool. Like,
good for you. You got good taste.
Yeah, dude. I could tell you a lot of those songs on the album, but like, because Jock Jams was way more like hip hop. This was more Jock Rock. So it was like, AC/DC, Kiss, but Great Balls of Fire.
Like stadium songs, kind of?
But then they also had Lowrider.
Oh.
And Wooly Bully. Do you know that one?
I don't know Wooly Bully.
Hattie go, Hattie. Will not be enough. Wooly Bully.
There it is.
Wooly Bully.
I feel like Wooly Bully and Lowrider are both baseball songs. So maybe they were just covering their bases.
Oh, there you go.
And had like songs for every sport.
Yeah, anyway, it was.
I think MVP
awesome.
Baseball 05 had Lowrider on the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Anyway, so
okay.
Bo threw a ball at somebody's face.
It's too bad, Bo. It's too bad. He'll learn though. That's gonna come in handy later. Lefty pitcher. I mean, even if he can get mid 80s, I mean that's a D2. That's great.
He's a true lefty too. Like
good. You're not having to force it.
No, he's doing everything left-handed, and I love it.
Good. Keep it that way.
I tried to do that with Hattie. I was like, put that fork in your left hand. See how that feels.
Nah,
it didn't happen. So
she got Catherine's right-handedness.
Mm-hmm. I have a follow-up for last week when I talked about the phone number thing. How I just was like 913-549-0159.
Oh yeah.
For the record, I didn't do it that fast. I would.
You were kind of putting me to the test.
549-0159. And anyway, been still going and getting my Dole Whips. And this just today, I actually went and got one. And the Hawaiian Bros person was like, "Are you a part of the rewards member? You know, whatever." And I was like, "Yes, I am." And they're like, "Okay, what's that phone number?" And she was so excited. I go, 913. She goes, "Yeah." I'm not even joking. And then I go, you know, whatever. 549. Oh yeah. 0159. Yep. Okay. Pull ahead. Like, it was like, she was so enthusiastic about it. So maybe there's a, you know, benefit to going a little bit slower.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a good follow-up.
Yeah.
Hawaiian Bros reminded me, we went and played pickleball. Me and Rachel went with like Garrett Gibson, Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out he proposed that night. Had no idea, Johnny.
What?
Yeah.
That night?
Yeah, we were playing pickleball that morning and engaging by night.
Cup to cup, ring by spring.
Anyway, fun day at pickleball. After that morning of playing, we all went to Hawaiian Bros.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And Rachel just really been cracking me up lately. So if you've been in Hawaiian Bros, it's definitely a Hawaiian vibe. There's usually kind of Hawaiian music going. Sure. We're sitting there, we're waiting to get our food. There's a little bit of a silence among the 8 people in there. Mm-hmm. And Rachel's kind of rocking back and forth in her chair like this. And she goes, "Anybody go through a ukulele phase?" And we were like expecting everyone to like jump in and be like, "Yes."
Oh, of course. Dude, who did it?
It was just...
It's 8th grade.
It was silent, dude.
Yeah.
She's like, "Nobody?" And we're like, "No, tell us about yours."
Really? Not after seeing 51st Dates and then just getting really inspired by the Hawaiian spirit?
Really?
Anybody?
Drew Barrymore, Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Pretty good movie.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Israel Kamakabalake? Nobody? Okay. Just me?
Yeah, that was so great. Just like, I think I know what they're all thinking.
Let's go ahead. Yeah. Elephant in the room, which is funny because it's so tiny. Who's into ukuleles?
Any ukuleles among us?
Any ukuleles in the house? Peyton over there?
Ukuleles? That's funny, but no, it was great. But yeah, I loved what someone, back to the phone number thing, what they posted on the Facebook page about the King of Queens. That was a great scene. I'd never seen that before.
I hadn't either. I laughed out loud.
It was so funny.
I watched it this morning in Panera and I laughed out loud.
You love Nara.
I do, dude.
Yeah.
Because that gives me the free coffee every morning. You know this?
No.
Well, I mean, I pay $8 a month.
So, okay. Well, now you gotta.
Yeah.
Did you see the yuzu?
Yeah.
Did you peek at it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's wild.
I sent you a video of it.
Did you really?
Remember? It was like last week after we recorded. I just scrolled on over to the yuzu. Jake, you're missing some of my stuff lately.
Did I reply?
No, you didn't.
Well, I legitimately don't think I saw it then.
Maybe you didn't. Maybe it didn't send. I don't know. We've tried to FaceTime you multiple times.
I never get it.
Bo just randomly as we're driving a lot of times, Mr. Jake, FaceTime Mr. Jake. And I'm always like, because he's also into Jake, you know, worker man Jake.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, Jake, like, which, and Hattie like helps me like translate. She's such a funny, like intermediary for us.
That's
She's
awesome.
Like, Bo, do you want the Jake from the podcast or the Jake from the wood shop? Podcast, you know? And so we FaceTime you.
Dang.
And every time you haven't answered.
And
which I'm so curious. If you do, I don't think he'll say a word to you. I think he'll be very stoic. So that's why I'm so curious why he wants to talk to you all the time.
Let's make it happen. I don't know. I legit, because I trust technology. It's not like, I guess it just didn't go through. It's like it had to have gone through. But yeah. I have technology wrapped around my arm. Right. Like I should know about this.
Yeah.
I have my phone in my pocket all the time. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't see it. Don't see it.
Yeah.
What else should we talk about? Volleyball this week. That same family showed up again.
Yes, the Rose.
Yes, the Rose.
Okay.
Mama Rowe didn't come, but Josh and his lady Rachel brought more friends. So we had a full house.
What's a full house? How many?
Just like an extra like 4 friends,
Fun.
probably. Luke Holan couldn't make it. Asked Garrett Gibson. Who knew Garrett Gibson's kind of nasty at volleyball? It's like, dude, how'd you get this good?
I could have told you.
Well, you think college soccer player, it's like, yeah, you're probably good at a number of things, but with the hands, who knows?
Is it legal to use feet? I think it is, right?
You are allowed. This is so interesting. You're allowed to use your feet in sand volleyball, but the specific venue we play at outlaws it. It'd be like if Hy-Vee Arena was like, hey, no 3-pointers.
What state are you in when you're doing this?
That would be Kid City, Missouri. It's so weird. It's like, it's venue specific rules. Why? Just like
something happened. To make that like an outlaw.
It's a legitimate...
Somebody kicked something like out of frustration one time and it nailed a girl in the face.
It's just so fascinating to me that something that is allowed, you can just outlaw at your place where the sport is played.
No spiking in this volleyball. Yeah. It has to always go up.
Hey, no bunts. Like that's a part of the game. Not here it is.
No bunts.
Not here it isn't.
No bunts.
So you can't use your feet, which I made sure to tell Garrett right off the bat. He's like, dang, I was like, I know you probably could have done great, but
you think that's a widely known rule though?
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Yeah, his like sister was like a pretty good volleyball player growing up. He's like, yeah, she would just hit it at me a lot. I was like,
Oh,
that
that's
makes
awesome.
sense.
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason. There's always an explanation. But we had a lot of fun. Yeah, the Rose were there again, and yeah, they came to Andy's with us afterwards. It was good. Good vibes. Good having them there. And
What are you getting to Andy's these days? Oh, I say that weird.
These days.
What are you getting to Andy's these days? Hey, man.
I'm proud of myself. You know, it's funny. I get so explorative. That'd be the right word when it comes to dessert.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Chili's. They've got the same thing for 6 years straight, but dessert's like, yeah, I'll go nuts.
Sure.
Actually, I'll remove the nuts, but yeah, I get something different almost every time at Andy's.
Yeah.
They're all great. Boot Daddy, Waffle Nutty Crunch, the Snow Monster, Butterfinger Concrete, Oreo Concrete,
last time I got key lime pie.
The Coops love key lime pie.
Dude, try it.
Yeah,
it was so refreshing.
I typically okay.
Yeah.
And
I'm more of a chocolate like savor or whatever that is.
Rich,
decadent. Yeah,
decadent. Good word.
But it hit the spot. It's nice. Yeah,
that is nice.
Melted quick, but hit the spot.
As it does. Rachel got recognized this week. Wanted to give a big shout out to Renee.
Okay.
Renee, she's in, and I'd seen her before in our like Facebook group because I was like, "Whoa, Renee from SBU, you're like a listener somehow, some way."
Cool.
And yeah, so she recognized Rachel while Rachel was like nannying and had all these kids with her, and Renee had her. I think Rachel said her kid's name was Preston or whatever. But anyway, shout out Renee. She was like, "Yeah." Renee said you probably wouldn't remember it. Renee, I remember.
Renee.
You had a twin. You married Devin.
Renee.
I think you Brad. What dorm did she live in?
Renee lived in Jenkins dorm.
Jenkins
3.
Is it Jenkins or is it specifically Jenkins?
No, it's an A. Jan.
Yeah, Jenkins.
K''NS. Jenkins. Yeah. Floor 3. You walk up, or you go up the elevator because I was kind of lazy. And you get out of the elevator and you turn right. And she was the third door. The first one's a study hall dorm, and then the next one, and then her dorm.
Yeah.
And she was really weirdly obsessed with what's his name? The lead singer of Train. Like she had a bunch of posters of him in her room.
Even on the outside door. That's how you knew it was Renee's room.
And she was really like I don't think she is anymore, but she was really into Lily Pulitzer, the the style designer. So like everything she had was Lily. Her bag, her book bag, her dress, of course, her bed sheets, everything.
Yeah. We used to call her the Pulitzer Prize, as a little joke. And
yeah.
But yeah, I remember she was a great student. She got all A's. We called her Ace. She was awesome.
Yeah. Renee. She called her Renee's.
Renee's.
Yeah.
Renee's.
Shout out Renee.
Shout out Renee for
That's
recognizing
fun.
Rachel. That's unreal that people can recognize Rachel's face. I mean, that is a trickle down.
Yeah.
It's quite the trickle down.
I met a guy this week that was SBU grad, and I think like every time I hear SBU, I'm just like, oh, lock. Everyone knows Jake, and this guy is too young to know you.
Dang it.
And that is weird to me because I'm like, how old are we getting old?
Yeah.
I think we're getting old. Like, because he seemed old. He's married. He's got a beard. I'm like, this guy knows Jake.
That's old.
This guy's like, he's heard of Jake.
Who's the guy you think who has a beard? Who's
Josh Brumfield.
Josh Brumfield.
This guy wasn't Josh Brumfield. This guy is a redhead with a beard, so it's different.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, so like I do a podcast with this guy. You probably know Jake Triplett. He's like, Jake Triplett.
You're like, he started looking Bearcats. Is that still, is that a thing?
Yeah. Have you seen I'm sure you've seen the talent show where he does the
beach
ball with Anderson Gilberto.
Flyleaf textbooks.
DDS. Yeah. Alex Dimchek's, he filmed Alex Dimchek's proposal video.
Helicopter. He dropped a bunch of limes in Walmart one time. Yeah. Nothing?
Goes golfing with Hayden. No. Anyway, let's talk. Yeah, I think we could talk about it publicly. I think it was just so funny, the group chat today.
Yeah. Dude.
I was just observing you.
You gotta quit. You gotta help me out, dude. It's one thing if you're like, oh, I've been working, I haven't been on my phone. You can see me. I'm in the fight of my life here, and you're just observing. Just observe it.
So okay, I think there's 6 or 7 people in this group chat. We're playing in a basketball league this upcoming season, and we're trying to figure out. There's usually rec, intermediate, or competitive, and we're trying to figure out like for our schedules if we want to do intermediate or competitive. And Jake is like, with good reason, firmly on the stance of like, we need to do intermediate. We will get absolutely floored in competitive.
It started off pretty polite. It was like, hey, because there's one guy who doesn't know any of us, so we're introducing ourselves. Jake.
To be fair, that guy doesn't know any of us. Played professionally overseas.
Yeah.
So he's really good.
He's the Finnish Klay Thompson. That's what they call him.
That's right. That's what I've always called him.
But no, I think I played against him in high school. He grew up in Branson, and so we know each other. But anyway, yeah, he's a stud. So he's very good. But but he doesn't know any of us. So he's like asking us to introduce ourselves. And so I'm like Jake Triplett, 5'11" with cowboy boots on. And I think it would be way more fun for all of us if we played intermediate. It starts off real nice and easy. I just think it'd be more fun. Yeah. Gunner's there to back me. He's like, I'm with Jake. Let's hear it. You know, we're here to have fun. And then Will Severance, who has only ever played in the recreational league. He's never played above the lowest division. He's like, guys, I really think we should be playing competitive. And I'm like, I don't think so at all. And I'm trying to defend ourselves. And none of my friends who have played in intermediate league are coming to my defense. Eventually it got so bad 2 hours later, I have to text Brad and Luke. I'm like, yo, could somebody help me out here?
Jake goes, can you please help me out with this group chat? LOL.
I was against the ropes. And yeah, because everyone, and I even said this in the group text, I said, everyone who's played in the intermediate league wants to play in the intermediate league. It's one guy who's only played at the lowest divisions. Like, why aren't we playing competitive?
I could tell Jake, like, I just know you well enough to be like, Jake is bothered by this.
I was bothered.
Jake is legitimately frustrated
by Will's logic and by everyone else's lack of, because honestly, most group texts, I complain about this all the time, but everyone's on their phone constantly. We all know we're on our phones constantly. Yeah. And because a week ago, it was like, hey, we only have 6. Should we get someone else? And I said, I'm golfing with Luke Hoagland right now. I can ask him. No one replies for 4 hours. So I'm like, all right. He's free on Tuesdays. And then Will responds, LOL, all you asked him is if he's free on Tuesdays. I'm like, well, no one said anything. So what was I supposed to do? And so this group text already, it just doesn't seem to reply to me. And then when I'm like trying to like help us out, truly, it will not be fun if we play in that competitive league.
See, I'm not as strongly in that as you are. Only because in our experience, we have played in the rec league before against guys who played professionally overseas. And so it's like, I feel like, and then we play the intermediate league and it's like, these guys should not be in the intermediate league. These guys stink, you know? And so I feel like maybe logically, if the competitive league is what we think it is, of course we're going to get railed. But like, maybe the competitive league is going to be people like us where they can't find any other time slots. So like, I guess we'll go to this league. So let me tell you my justification.
That's true, but still.
No, I understand. I understand like, cause you're thinking like the competitive people, you know, are supposed to have these credentials. We don't have these credentials. Therefore we should not be in this league. Like,
and just forget even what the website says you should do. Here's our track record. We've played in the intermediate league 4 times. We've had a college basketball player every time. We've never won it. Yeah. Not once have we won it. If it's like, you know, professional soccer, then we would get promoted. We wouldn't even get promoted. Yeah. We might get relegated.
Last season. But my justification is that I was just like, there's enough cooks in the kitchen. I'm just going to stay out of it.
Oh, I need you cooking, dude. I need you cooking.
And then you're like, hey, Brad, we have a large party that just came in. Can you please hop on the stove? And I said, yes, I can, Jake.
A large party coming. Dude, if we worked in the kitchen together, that'd be so fun.
Oh, I would love it.
Anywhere.
I would love to work at a restaurant, I think.
I've said that for a long time.
Season.
I want to be a server.
I think it'd be really fun.
You make money based off your personality. What a motivator.
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
And like how quickly and efficiently, I would love it.
Oh, I would love it.
I would get burns on my forearm, I bet, from carrying the skillet of fajitas right there. That'd be one of my things. Like, oh, that's the guy that has calluses on his forearm, so he can just walk around.
It's like,
who's got him?
It is the equivalent of like a gangster having a teardrop. You know, it's like, oh, he earned that. He killed somebody. That guy, you got 3 rings on him. Yeah, he's been doing this 3 years.
Yeah, he'll get out of his car and come yell at you from stoplight.
He's got rings on his forearms.
Anyway, but that was like, I just know you well enough to know like
you were right.
It's like the 8K camera thing where it's like, Jake's not going to let this go. Like Jake's going to be frustrated.
I knew I was right. I am so confident I'm right from experience. And my adversary was not speaking from experience. It made no sense. And then I'll tell you, last thing, what bothers me now is so we decide, everyone finally. So Brad and Luke come to my defense. Very well thought out, very like well said things. And I was like, thank you guys so much. So we agree. All right, we're going to do intermediate league. I'm like, thank the Lord. This is going to be so much more fun. This is going to be so much better.
Oh yeah. We're going to have a fighting chance against these normal average Joe basketball players just like us.
So then
sorry, go ahead. The fact that whatever happened, like the first thing that happens next is so funny because you were pushing so hard for the intermediate league.
I was like, intermediate. We definitely should.
Luke, Brad, can you please tell us?
I even get Luke to help out, which Luke doesn't say anything. He's so nice. So Luke comes to my defense, fully knowing that Luke is only available on Tuesday nights. How it works is, I guess we were too late to sign up. The Tuesday time slots are gone. So now if we want to play intermediate, it's on Thursdays, which means Luke can now no longer play. So Luke came to my defense.
He's leading a ministry and therefore is like, being the hands and feet of Jesus and sacrificing for other people.
And in this group text, he
Yeah.
was the martyr.
Right.
He came up and he's like, hey, take me.
Yeah.
Take me and have your Thursday nights.
Yeah.
I can't play. So it's like, gosh, Luke, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
now we have to find somebody. I'm sure we're just gonna have to find a scrub, right, Jake?
So I go, all right, Luke can't play on Thursdays anymore. Bummer. We're down to 6. Do you guys want me to ask Isaac? First shocker. No one says a thing. No one says a thing. No one says, yeah, that sounds good. No, yeah, ask him.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we just get a text. It's like, hey, Relaford's in.
And I go, Travis Relaford? And he says, yes. And I go, yeah, I was just very excited because Travis Relaford, if you guys don't know, was a 2 or 3 year starter for University of Kansas when they went to the national championship and is very good at basketball.
Standout Division I basketball player, played several years overseas, has a highlight reel on YouTube, which is a sign of a player.
Yeah. Is going to be just fine in the intermediate league, I think.
So then everyone's like, oh, shoot, we got Relaford. Well, we got to play the competitive league. And no one is addressing the fallacy and what we've done. We basically kicked out Luke. So now we're going to play competitive on Tuesday nights. We basically just kicked Luke out to get this college basketball player. And now Luke's just going to, I don't know, he's just going to be in the group text and just watch this play. I don't know. Like, no one's talking about that. It's so obvious to me. Like, do you guys realize what we did? We just kicked Luke. He's still in the group text. He knows that we kicked him out and we're going to play on Tuesdays now.
Oh, man.
It's so dumb. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
But are we playing on Tuesdays?
I assumed everyone was like, oh, I mean, we got 2 D1 players.
See, let me look back at this. I feel like Gunner is like I think that we should do a Gene Shorts video on types of people in a group text because Gunner is the classic type of person who just makes jokes the whole time and derails people. Like let me try to find this. Where to go? Let's see. So like we figure out that we got Travis Relaford and Gunner goes would rather have Jeff Withey.
I don't get that.
Jeff Withey's another basketball player on KU.
Okay, good one.
Went to the NBA.
Okay.
Yeah, great shot blocker, like 7 feet tall.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, Gunner's just always like making jokes about all these.
He's just
things.
fooling.
Anyway, but yeah, it just says signing us up right now. It doesn't say. Oh, Gunner said he's signing us up, so I don't know if we're going to be intermediate or competitive.
Love the clarity. Love the organization. When Jake Triplett was a manager, you knew what you were signing up for. You got a link sent to you. You knew when game times were.
See, but all of a sudden, like sometimes you just got to be like, hey, let other people take it.
I guess.
or take control.
I know.
Yeah.
I wonder when the last time I wasn't the person to book a tea time for our friend group golfing.
Really?
It's
That's always
amazing.
you?
Yeah. I think now that I've like
taken on that role.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, Jake will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Which I don't necessarily mind.
Are you enabling them?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I need to go radio silent for a while. Give him the Peter treatment. It's all right. I can only text it home.
Yeah.
You guys figure it out.
You guys do it yourself. So.
Yeah. No, it's all good. But yeah, it was a funny group text. It was great that I asked Luke to come to my defense and now he's not on the team because he came to my defense.
Yeah. He was like, can you guys please back me up? And he's like, sure. Yeah, I can. He's like texting through the tears. Like,
you guys play without me.
Seriously, it's a better idea.
Luke made a great point though. He's like, I've played in the competitive league before. I was the only person who didn't play college basketball and we came in 3rd.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, there's your excuse.
What's going to be funny now though, is that we're going to play in the intermediate league and people are going to complain that we're in the wrong league. People are going to be like, why are these guys in intermediate? They have Travis Relaford on their team.
Which is great that I guess he's on our team, but we didn't really talk about it. It's like, I mean,
yeah, I think I would have Isaac.
Yeah, I would have preferred one of our friends. I think truly, maybe. It's like, that's fun. This is gonna be such a fun crew. Like Severance is hilarious. Gunner is so fun to play with. Like Kevin's hilarious. Like our team is gonna be so funny. Dude, that's why I'm like, let's not play competitive. This is gonna be so fun.
Gunner and Will are so funny already.
Will is very, very funny.
But the image of Gunner and Travis Relaford just cracks me up. Because Travis Relaford is just a certified baller and Gunner just always wears the most ridiculous things. Like he's always in like something that you would see on Fresh Prince, in 1998. Like it's just like he looks ridiculous and like was wearing like bright orange shoes and like all these different things. And I could just see him like trying to coach Travis Relaford at some point because Gunnar loves to like be like, hey, like do this. You guys need to do this. And it's just going to be great. So I'm excited.
Good group text. Stay tuned on how that goes. I'm sure it's not done, but it's going to be a fun season.
Yes.
It's going to be fun. I'm trying to think what else I was going to mention from this week. Kind of a fun little time, which I said I'm not going to get in the habit of doing this necessarily, but a couple just fun interactions with ghosties and people who know me in public this week. One was from church Sunday. Rachel and I went to the early service. As we're leaving, a guy stops me and he's like, hey, what's up? I got to say, hey, I actually saw
your hair.
I saw your hair
Yeah.
touching the ceiling fan. I was like, that's gotta be Jake. I saw him perform. He's like, yeah, I saw you perform. And I was like, oh, here in town? And he was like, no, in Chicago, actually. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Totally. So,
Sure.
are you from here? Or are you like were you just in Chicago visiting or you live there? And he's like, oh, I'm from Los Angeles. And I was like, totally, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to connect the dots or do you want to just be very mysterious? Like,
It was actually, I think I got it backwards. I think he saw the show in LA, but he lives in Chicago.
okay.
Okay, that's what it was. Cause I was like, oh, wow. So, well, that's wild that you're meeting, I was like, I live here. That's crazy. And I was like, so what are you doing here? And he's like, well,
I live here now.
yeah.
Okay.
He was like, well, Pastor, whatever. And I went to Wheaton together. And I was like, oh, that's fine. I love Wheaton. I know some people went there. I got a buddy who lives in the town of Wheaton right now. And he's like, and then the other pastor, we went to seminary together in Pennsylvania. I was like, dude, you are the most well-connected. I mean, you were throwing so many things at me right now. I was like, this is amazing. And then to top it off, I was like, well, you might be in for a treat. I was like, Trey usually comes to this church too. I didn't see him at this service, but maybe he's coming to the late service because he was coming in. So I was like, hey, maybe we'll see him after church. About 4 hours later, I get on Instagram and I have a story mention, and it's a selfie of me and him, and it's a selfie of Trey and him. So he really did see Trey.
Wow.
So I was like, what a trip to Kansas City for this guy.
Did he stay? You think he stayed like to wait for Trey?
He was coming to the late service anyway. So yeah, I mean,
he was like
probably just waited till
I
afterwards.
see.
But yeah, so shout out Richard. That was fun. And then today, this is cool, kind of. I feel like I have to like address this. So I'm in Summer Moon, and Abigail was her name. She's a ghostie. She is only on episode 90, so it's going to be a while before she hears this, but she's such a huge ghostie. Shout out Abigail, lives in Belton, and she teaches at where Garrett Gibson and Johnny Lee went to high school. SCA, shout out. But as I'm talking to her, as we're taking a selfie, I'm not kidding. I didn't like maybe see it. I'm 100% sure a girl walked out of Summer Moon wearing Ghostrunners merch as I'm taking a selfie with Abigail.
What?
So I don't know if she saw me and was like, he's already taking selfies, or if she just didn't see me, but I saw her. So like, I don't know.
What shirt?
5'5" brunette wearing a plum Ghostrunner shirt. It was like a very simple, just said Ghostrunners on it, like
No
serif
way.
font. And yeah, you were there with like 3 or 4 people. I think jean shorts. You had jean shorts on. I don't know. That's a rough description. But she was there. It was like a Topgolf Rachel. It's like, well, hold on. I would like to speak to you. And she just left. So crazy circumstances.
You're 100% positive.
Yes, it was a Ghostrunner shirt. I know it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
So
I don't know what to
thanks
say
a
to that.
lot, Abigail.
Yeah. It's all your fault.
No, I didn't say anything, but just interesting. Kind of fun.
I have a few. You said something about your hair hitting the ceiling fan, and that reminded me. Sloan Dog Millionaire.
Sloan Dog.
Yeah, niece Sloan had to go get stitches yesterday, 2 days ago, something like that. Hattie comes out. We're all the adulters hanging out, eating lunch on the deck, adequate deck, and Hattie walks out and said, Sloan hit her head on the bed. And
you're like, Hattie, I don't have time to finish this Dr. Seuss rhyme. Okay. We're just hanging out.
We're like, okay, yeah, like, oh, bummer. We'll come in and we'll come check it out or have her come. And then like probably 5 seconds later, Sloan walks out with just like a good amount of blood on her face. And we all just just instinctively just like stand up and we're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And we had to teach Hattie like, hey, if that happens again, say Sloan hit her head and she's bleeding. Because I guess what happened was Sloan went up to the top bunk and apparently the ceiling fan was on. I don't know.
Ooh.
And I guess just like boom, boom, boom. Right in the head.
Jab, jab, cross real quick.
So I had to go to the ER and get stitched up for it.
Does Hattie know the word blood before? Like she knew how to use it in a sentence? Or do you
I think she knows
Okay.
blood.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know a thing.
That'd be funny. Like, do we teach her this yet, Jake? Or have like a game show?
I've talked to Rachel about this all the time. I love asking questions about the kids she's nannying, and they seem so fun. And a lot of times I'm shocked. I don't know maturity levels. I don't know what kids know. I don't know what a 9-year-old thinks is funny. And so I always reiterate, I'm like, I'm so ready for a middle schooler, but anything beneath that, I'm lost. I don't know what goes on. I don't know the adolescent stages, but middle schoolers, I feel so good about.
But obviously, like if you have kids, you're going to have them, they start out at 0. And so you learn with them, like what stage they're on. It's not like you're like, do you know algebra yet? Or are you still on like basic addition or like, there's actually, I had a funny thought today. Like the kids were all playing in the driveway while I was working. It was great. They were all watching me probably the whole time.
That guy's got a cool computer.
Social accountability. And, but Bo was like riding his scooter past like this bucket of like this trash can that I have. and it was like overflowing with sawdust. And Bo just goes, sawdust, sawdust, sawdust.
You're like, huh?
And I'm like, how many 2-year-olds know the word sawdust?
Do you know sawdust?
You know,
sawdust.
sawdust. Like,
So you're saying saw,
like
dude.
Bo doesn't, sawdust,
Oh, sawdust.
sawdust. Should I do a reel with that on there?
Woodworkers in 2013. Sawdust.
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 Just trying to woodwork with my breasts. Just trying to
Yeah, what else?
Just trying to saw with my breasts.
Just trying to solve my bros. I'll do like 20, do a little Harlem Shake, maybe. In there, do like a quick Vine with like the bruh sound effect. Or with
Okay.
the boom. That one's not as clear to know which one I'm talking about. You
Well,
can do the
most of these things are like a little above me anyway, but
turn down for what? Use that song.
okay.
All right, there you go. There's some
Okay,
options.
great.
Yeah.
Black Beatles in the City, Mannequin Challenge.
Harlem. I already said thinking Mannequin Challenge, right?
Um,
Everything's a Harlem Shake to me.
Anyway, I'm just thinking about like Bo, like he doesn't know so many words that other 2-year-olds probably know, but he knows sawdust.
He's got sawdust down.
Like Hattie doesn't know probably like really basic home like handyman things, but she knows what a festool domino is.
But yeah, your kids. Bo's just like wood glue.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I think that does make sense.
Type
for this.
Bond 2. Yeah, we should. Yeah, whatever. It's just so funny that he says sawdust. Like it's just a cute-
Sawdust.
sawdust.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
Shout out, Bo.
Shout out to Bowie.
I think the last thing I want to mention, we'll get into some voice memos real quick. Rachel has become a little self-conscious. Her social accountability can sometimes be a bad thing because she was having to do research for her like counseling program, whatever. She's like, I really hope we were at a coffee shop. She's like, I really hope no one like walks over or like recognizes you or in any way comes behind me right now. Because while we're sitting face to face on our laptops, she had 2 tabs pulled up. One said domestic violence and the other said Planned Parenthood. She's like, this is just not a good look. If they
Like what? Yeah. What are
She's
they?
like,
gonna
I'm
think?
writing a paper. She's like,
Yeah.
wanted to make an announcement. Just if anyone at any point walks by, we're doing fine.
Yeah. She's got to have she's got to make it like very clear that she's a student or a teacher. Like have glasses on, have a huge textbook,
Just have an apple. on the desk. It's like so stereotypical. Like
like a ruler with your name on it.
little name tag.
Yeah, maybe a chalkboard. Just anything and everything that
Etch
just
a
like,
sketch.
shows-
Just weird. It's too much.
Maybe like a bathtub in the corner with pillows in it for like when they go reading for reading time.
Okay, yeah, really.
Did you
extended.
ever have a teacher like that?
No.
Oh man, Mrs. Coulter had a bathtub. It was the coolest thing. It was like, okay, you get the bathtub today.
Bath read.
Yep.
That's fun. But yeah, she's been real nervous. I'm like, I would probably be nervous too.
Yeah.
Just looks so bad. Yeah, just like domestic violence. Yeah, but
I
anyway,
mean,
we're
yeah.
doing fine. She's a studious girl. Should we get into some voice memos?
Let's see some voice memos.
All right, let's do it. You
Oh, I wasn't confident that I was gonna nail it, but then I punched it and it punched with me. Oh yeah,
you looked like, what did you look? It was like
probably a freaking samurai fighter.
No, you looked like a weird kid in high school who like was threatening to beat you up and didn't know how to like put his dukes up. Instead of putting him like right in front of his like jaw, he like extends his hands up.
Hey,
Dukes up.
hey! I've watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z. Okay, I've watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z, and I can kick your butt.
It was, the hands went so wide. It was great. It was a good punch.
I was trying to be more like, I don't even know what I was thinking, but I'm thinking more like that was a umpire. Hey! What kind of strike 3 would you do?
Hey!
Oh, really?
Hey! I'd have 2 distinct noises.
Oh, so like the first one's like
It's like strike
he's out,
3.
but you're still going for the.
It's like strike 3, but I'm like barely enunciating anything.
I think for my first two strikes, I would be a very like old timey.
Oh, sorry.
Steve
I
right.
thought you were just asking the strike, like the strike out
Oh
looking
yeah,
call.
and then the last one be like, hey.
Just one strong
Yeah.
noise.
Oh, but they'd see the punch, baby, punch them out.
So the first 2's like Steve, right?
It'd be more animated than that. Steve right.
I think I'd have the same volume and even inflection, but I'd keep it one syllable. Try.
Oh, I like that.
I'd do that. I
You
think.
gotta have some rasp no matter.
Yeah,
what,
it's like
though.
your quarterback under center.
Rah.
Down. Set. Draw from Austin, Texas.
I like that too. I like just a long one. Rah.
The ball's already back in the pitcher's hand. You're not done.
Yeah. Just add a third syllable. Steve Rira. Anyway.
Strike. One.
Ball. That's what I would do for ball. So I'd just be like, ball.
Yeah, ball one.
Steve Right. Ball. Steve Right.
I think I'd almost hit the whoa on the third round. I think I'd throw it up. Like he's caught looking.
Hey! yeah. Every once in a while, kind of walk back with them. Hey!
Like you're moving so much and your hand is going so far. They're like, "Do you just throw me out of the game?" No. Just a strike 3 call.
Hey, no, sorry. That's just how I strike when I'm really excited about the good
It looks
pitch.
like we're just throwing them out of the game every time. You're out of there. You literally said you're out of there. No, just for the at bat.
Yeah.
Just for the at bat.
No, sorry. You're confused.
Gosh, we got to either cook at a restaurant or umpire together. Oh,
that
that'd
would
be fun.
be so fun, dude.
Umpiring 10 and under. That's as high as I go.
If you are listening to this and you are 16 years or younger, you need to be an umpire before you graduate high school.
Because you're not going to do it ever again.
I don't know. I'm not saying you're not going to ever again, but I think it'd be really like it's more realistic when you're that old. Like I think you should go do it because I think that'd be some. I think you would really like learn some life lessons from just getting harassed by parents that are too competitive. And B, I think you could have a lot of fun and some really great stories to come back and tell us on the podcast. So,
Have you seen that like 8-year-old umpire? I see his like TikToks every now and then.
no, but I love it.
It's like he's reffing like or umpiring adults, and I'm like, I think that's
Adults?
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. I'll
No
put it
way.
on like the Facebook page or
Okay.
something this week. It's
Fun.
throwaway. Okay, now voice memos. How long have we been recording? Okay, a good amount.
Don't worry
We'll
about
have some quick answers. This will be fun.
Hey, Jake and Brad.
Hey.
My name's Walker. I'm from Dallas. I went to SMU. Jake, I was actually in one
Rich?
of your Jake and Josh
Just kidding.
videos when y'all were at SMU. I was also a camper at K West when you
Whoa.
were on leadership there.
Rich?
Brad, I worked at K Country.
Oh,
for
never mind. I
the
take it
last
all
4
back.
summers, not
Poor.
including this one.
What's up, Walker?
So my question for y'all is, so I'm a frequent goer to Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and at some of the
Rich?
locations they have parking spots with signs that say low emission vehicles only. And that gave me the idea of if I ever had a restaurant or something with a parking lot, I want to put
I
up
like this.
different signs at all the different parking spaces that have different requirements for you to be parking.
That is so fun.
Like left-handed parking only or dog owner parking only. So I wanted to ask y'all.
Yeah, okay. I get where he's going. That
You're gonna stop it.
I get it.
Like we've been recording for too long. I can't listen to the next 20 seconds of that.
Walker, that's fun. I'm trying to think what videos do we do at SMU. I don't even know. You've been in a video. You've been at K West. You've been at K Country.
Pony up.
You've been at Canes. Pony up here. Let's go, Stangs. That's a fun idea. And I would change them out often. Even when people get used to them, like, yeah, it's kind of fun. This place has left-handed parking. It's like, it's not always there.
Yeah, I like the idea of, I like some of them being like attributes, but other ones being like requirements. If you park there, you have to XYZ.
$20 minimum order.
Okay, I like that. I like if you park there, you have to sing a song on your way out into the store. Or when you walk into the store, or like you have to get free refills for everybody. Like make it like you're a paid employee, you know, like you are the refill guy.
Take out the trash.
Yeah.
Take out the trash from the southern wall.
Oh, I like this a lot. I mean,
I think I'd like something where people almost have to do a double take. It doesn't say expect at mother's parking. It says like, would love to someday be a mother parking.
okay.
Just if you have aspirations.
Aspiring mothers.
Aspiring mothers
Yeah,
parking.
yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun parking spot. Just if it's on your mind.
And people could really stretch that and be like, well, I have a kid and someday she would like to be a mom. And like Hattie would like
she's
to
in
be
the
a
car
mom someday.
I'm
Yeah.
parking on her behalf.
Right. On her behest. I like the idea of like, we talked about social push-ups at one point, like doing, like you have to walk in and do 25 push-ups before you get to order. And they're promoting fitness along with,
Yeah.
you know, this business.
I think I'd like to promote some sort of caste system. Just
Okay.
like some of the spots, bachelor's degree minimum.
Okay.
That's where they could park.
Yeah.
Some would say dropped out of high school. That's where you can park.
And you know what? Sometimes like you honor that because they're ambitious, probably.
I'm not saying that
You know.
the bachelor's degrees get to park up close. I'm just saying you have parking spots.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody who's got a bachelor's degree, master's, and then going for another one. And so she's a student.
But still tells people
But
I'm
dating
in
a
school.
stand-up comedian.
You get your own spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever been asked your parents' home, you get a spot.
I think one of them has to be like, you can park here, but you have to have at least 6 wheels. And so it's like you can
Yeah.
have 4 wheels, but you also have to have a bike or
Stroller.
2 unicycles, a stroller,
Like, hope the stroller.
maybe just a spare or 2.
ripstick.
Rips. Yes, exactly.
Ripstick would
All
work.
those things.
That's a really fun concept. I can see that being like a funny
Yeah,
sketch.
like
too.
a theme of the month. Like you post it on your social media. Like
It's like crumble cookie, but it's like, oh, I wonder what the parking spot's gonna be this month.
yeah,
I hope I fit in.
yeah,
That's fun. It's fun. Just drinks. We'll put it in. Okay, next one is from Sarah.
Hi, Jake and Brad. This is Sarah from Dallas.
Told you.
Jake, I was the one that met
Rich?
you on tour in Dallas, and I told you that a couple years ago I asked you to be my wedding videographer over DMs, and you turned me down, and then you filmed someone else's wedding a couple months later.
Boom.
Anyways, I
Take
wanted
that.
to leave a voice memo asking you a question. Is there something that you can think of that people say all the time that's just not true? I thought this morning
Oh,
when I was trying to teach my daughter to open a water bottle, she
Yeah.
was 3 years old, I almost told her, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. But then I realized that's not true. If you really think about it, when you're trying to open
Sarah.
a water bottle, you turn the cap to the right to loosen it, and you turn the cap to the left to tighten it. So righty-tighty, lefty-loosey is just, it's not true. Is there anything else you can think of that's like that?
Sarah.
And Brad, by the way, I wanted to tell you.
Classic. Sarah. No, I didn't end it. She ended it.
Oh gosh, we're bringing that back.
Um,
You fooled me because you definitely
the
ended the other
last
one.
one. Yeah.
This was like, Jake, stop doing that.
that was a really pivotal
Okay,
time to end it.
Sarah, you get it. You won that one, but please stop doing that, guys. That was a good one.
Sarah, thanks for bringing up the wedding video thing.
Jake gets a lot of emails, guys.
Sorry. I think specifically I told her, I was like, I don't do wedding videos anymore. And then I did one more.
It was for like one of his best friends, though.
Kind of. Holly Manahan.
Man hands.
Yeah, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll do one last one for you. Okay, Sarah, I've actually thought about this before because in a way, you're right. Like anything that moves in a circular motion is going to move 2 different directions if we're just speaking left, right, or up and down. So it depends on which part of the circle you're looking at. So what we should use, let me finish, is clockwise or counterclockwise because then you
that's a
always
good idea
know.
for a little kid.
Hold on.
Okay.
But lefty loosey, righty tighty is easier. But this phrase works when looking at the top of the circle. So the top of the circle is moving lefty. It is moving counterclockwise. The bottom of the circle is moving to the right, still counterclockwise, but the bottom circle is moving right.
Yeah,
so I see what she's saying.
No dip. Everyone gets this. This is why it's so easy. Lefty loosey.
I'm saying I
righty.
see what she's saying, but everyone looks at the top of the circle.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, exactly. That's why what she's saying is irrelevant, Sarah.
No, I'm not on Sarah's side.
I'm not either.
Well, take that, Sarah.
So we think we should have Travis Relaford play on her.
But that's interesting.
No, I see what you're saying, Sarah. Whatever.
She asked us, what are like lies?
That's a fun idea that we've never thought about before. Let's think. I don't know. Like I've heard people be like, really touting like their high school accolades a lot.
Yeah, or like your uncle. Like
Yes.
your uncle has a lot of phrases that he has come up with.
Like it seems like your uncle did some pretty good stuff.
Or at least he knows a guy who invented something.
Yeah. There's always like a loose connection to like somebody really popular, really friendly.
Dude, I saw a video online. I'm trying to remember who it was. Let's see if I can find it. I saw a video online talking. It was like a whole video about lies.
Really?
Yeah. You want me to play it?
Just look up lies. Yeah.
Okay. Lies. YouTube. Let's see if they're okay. Yeah. Okay. I think I found it.
Well, yeah, I was in the Army 15 years. Sniper. Hoorah. Few the proud.
Yeah, I took the LSAT, scored in the 98th percentile, got into Harvard, didn't accept it. When I thought about that, I just didn't want to be tethered to a desk. That's why I work at a gas station. The latch that comes down that supports the airplane tray for your food.
Right.
Yeah, my uncle knew the guy who invented that.
Really? Well, that hotel? No, I wouldn't go over that hotel over there. No. Well, they say room 18's haunted. Yeah, FBI's been looking into it. Yeah, I bought me a house one time, $100,000. Flipped it 3 months later, $550,000. Live in a trailer park just because I like
It
it.
was just 5th grade, so it was only 1 year, but I was the best pole vaulter in the country. 11 and a half feet.
No, yeah, I was a very good basketball player. I was actually looked at by Duke back in the day. I broke the backboard. Yeah, every other game I would dunk and I'd break that backboard.
Back in the day, I was actually working on a sci-fi of my own. Ended up not selling the movie rights because Avatar stole it. My uncle actually knew the guy who invented Times New Roman.
Yeah, I had a cop bust me one time, pull me over for speeding. We had a little bit of a verbal altercation. I got in my car, I backed him down. I know jujitsu. He looked at me, he said, "This is your town now." It's a good thing too, because I could have killed him.
Yeah, I had a buddy actually get into crypto at like the perfect time. He made just short of 9 million on Dogecoin alone.
Yeah, turns out I got cancer, so I went ahead and started a GoFundMe for a 2022 Chevy Silverado. It's my dying wish.
I had 14 million TikTok followers, and then freaking got shut down. I don't know why. They won't give me an explanation.
Yeah, I actually got hit here one time by a milkman going 35.5 miles an hour. I was declared legally dead twice. So if you don't appreciate your life now, you will once you get hit by a milkman. You understand?
Yep. You heard of Blake Griffin, haven't you? That's what I thought. You know who coached him in middle school? My uncle.
Hey, do you remember that episode of CSI Miami where they found that guy dead in the corn silo? That was about my next door neighbor. I called him to prove it, but he's dead. We saw him and we were just like, oh, shucks. Yeah! Boom, 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 boom. Well, you know, I used to be on Broadway myself. Phantom of the Opera. I was the Phantom. Well, my grandpa, he actually won the lottery back in 1987, but when he went to go redeem his ticket, he actually got robbed by June Carter. That was before she was called June Carter Cash. I don't think it's a coincidence, do you? Where do you think she got the cash? My grandpa. So my uncle's a pilot, you know, he's a crop duster pilot. He's the best one in the Tri-County area.
Really good.
He's really good. I was in the cockpit with him. He just starts fainting. And I think he's having a stroke right there. And
What does he do?
what do I do? Here's what I do. I get on there and I do the sticks myself. I land the plane.
Tell him who called you.
President Carter. He says, son, I'm very proud of you. I was 8 years old.
Yeah. That was 2 years ago. You know the fast break in basketball? My uncle's dad invented that.
That's right.
You see that golden retriever over there? His dad was actually the understudy for Air Bud. Yeah, don't put a basketball near his nose.
He went up to American Idol all the way in San Diego. They said, you're going to Hollywood. It was never even on the show. Didn't even air.
Didn't air it.
Not even 1 second of that thing. No fruits for his labor. My grandpa's Johnny Cash, yeah. Burns, burns, burns. A ring of fire. That's my grandpa. Walk the Line was actually written after me. It was when I first learned how to walk. He wrote that song that night.
In third grade gifted class, I actually had the idea for coffee sleeves.
I know a guy who invented the Ferris wheel. They call him Mr. Ferris. The fourth wheel on a car.
Apple pickers. I know the guy.
The metric system. Right when I heard about COVID-19, about 10,000 bottles of hand sanitizer, sold every single one of them. Just like that.
The Tyson chicken plant up the road, they're thinking about making it a Amazon fulfillment center. Yeah, Zuck was down here. Or Musk. Bezosberg? I don't, one of them.
Went to prison once for being a guy up at the local watering hole. Never got caught neither. Never got caught neither. Never got caught neither. Yeah, never got caught neither. Well, so
There's some lies.
those were heard just off the top of the head though.
That's just
Top of the dome. Top of the dome.
So
Fun fact, we originally were going to call that small town lies.
small town liars, yeah.
Small town liars, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Also fun, never mind. There's an outtake in that video.
Yeah, there is. It was really funny. Brad made us laugh. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Looks like we have a voicemail from Vandergoons. I know that because I see the name Matthew here.
Oh yeah, he said he was going to leave us a voicemail.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Let's listen in.
Brad, Big Daddy, String Bean, Jake,
Goons.
how y'all doing? This is Vandergoons, aka Alex, but also known as Matt. Yes, my name's not Alex, but Brad, don't stress it, man. I know how life can be sometimes. Anyway, I wanted to tell a story about our dog, Sunny. And so, right before our trip to New Mexico, he had some digestive problems. And so I wanted to take him to the vet because we thought he ate a grape. And so I accidentally took him to the wrong place, but I didn't figure it out right away because I went to the counter and I'm telling him all about his digestive issues and like everything going on and how he has diarrhea like crazy. And she just looks at me like, oh, and then she says, "Where do you think you are?" And I said, "The vet." She said, "This is a rehabilitation center." So yeah, then I went to the vet. But have you ever had a similar experience to this where you
I
thought
love
you were
that.
somewhere or something similar?
You're like, hey, yeah, I need to check somebody in. Okay, what's their name?
Goes by. He answers to Scrappy.
Yeah, his name's Chance. Okay, Chance. Okay, yeah. And can I just get a little more description on him? Yeah, sure. He's got like yellowish, blondish hair. I don't know, probably 48 inches so tall. Okay. And
Wow.
what's going on with him? Oh, he's just having some tummy stuff going on. Just like all these things. Like, okay, have you tried yeah, we go on walks every night together. And they just he'll eat the peanut butter right off the spoon sometimes when he's hungry.
Okay. Mentally, how does it seem like he's doing? Like, have you tried talking to him?
Yeah, and he'll talk back sometimes, but it's really nonverbal for the most part. You can just tell like something like he cries a lot at night. Okay. yeah, why don't you go ahead and bring him back and we'll check him out. Can you imagine? And then they're like,
Chance.
yeah, they're like putting like the paper down on the little like doctor chair, like for you to go back there for like, and all of a sudden this golden retriever walks back. It's like, what in the world? That's really funny. He got, how far did he get into the conveation about the diarrhea before the lady just stopped? Was like, what are you doing?
I love that he asked, like, so has that ever happened to you guys? Or have you guys ever taken a dog to rehab? Or are you guys something similar at least?
So I just like to know your similar stories, guys. Just relate it to your life.
Let me know where you've taken your dog on accident. And it's filled with people.
I would say the most relatable thing to me, Goons, was one time, and it's not really like the exact same thing, but one time I thought I was supposed to meet somebody on August 1st that it was a Saturday, and instead August 1st was a Monday. And I felt pretty out of place and dumb that time. So
you felt like a dog.
I felt like, yeah, I had gotten I got stood up.
Tail was between your legs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So anyway, that's really fun.
Yeah, I just fun those
Goons.
stories. That's great. Thanks, Goons. Thanks, Alex. All right, here's another one.
All right, what is up, Jake and Brad? So my name's Tucker. I'm a big fan of the pod. And I have a couple questions. So for Jake, see, I just got a good camera.
Rich.
Good, high quality camera. And I want to get into some like photography, videography. What are some of your tips of how you got into it? Things to start out with. Because I think it'd be a fun thing to do.
That one's for Brad.
And question for both of you guys. What is your favorite memory from camp, from working at camp, from going to camps? Because my church, we went to camp a couple weeks ago. I had so much fun. Can't wait to go back. So I was just wondering, what was your guys' favorite memory, favorite time you had? Yeah, keep up.
Thanks, Tucker. I think we've been asked about camp quite a bit, but luckily today on my like Facebook memories or whatever, something happened 9 years ago, and I was like, "Ooh, that was a good memory." It's so, I mean, for one, we didn't have our phones or cameras in there, so it's hard to be reminded of what you did. But when you do have that visual reminder, it's like, man, we did so much. I spent 6 summers there. There was so much that happened. One of the things we did, I don't know if you guys ever did a game like this. So it was my first year on programs. We played a game called Crab Crunch. So what we did is we had a shoebox full of hermit crabs. So we showed the audience, like, look at all the hermit crabs we have. I'd hold them up. Say, all right, we need one guy, one girl, volunteers. Get them up there and say, all right, your goal is going to be to walk across this stage blindfolded while dodging the hermit crabs. Okay. So I hope you guys are in touch with your senses. I hope you're not animal lovers,
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
While we're blindfolding them, we'd have like some counselors, the maintenance guys come up, they'd lay a tarp down. We're like, we're going to lay a tarp. Things could get messy. And then we would have them just cover it in like, something different every time, like pork rinds or like tortilla chips or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, Ashley, Jeremiah, are you guys ready? All right, try your best and go. And then, dude, when they stepped on that tortilla chip, the crowd would go nuts. Like, oh, the kids were traumatized. Oh, it was awesome.
Wow.
It was so great. Yeah, we love tricking kids.
And we did it well.
Oh, we did it well. Yeah, and then later we'd say, talk about the gospel and be like, this part is true.
Later,
and
later we'd be like, trust us on this. I know we've lost your trust with with Crab Crunch, but like, I promise this is the best thing you can listen to.
Yeah.
We didn't really do anything like that because we had 2 younger kids. One time during staff week, we did this game called, I think we called it like Earth, Wind, and Fire or something like that. But we went to this pet store and bought 2 mice and
good start.
Yeah, it was. And so the first part of it was like these different like challenges with the mice. So the first one was Earth. I don't even remember what exactly Earth was. Anyway, I don't know if it was like an obstacle course, but whatever. They're supposed to do it, and whatever mice got up. And the next one was Wind, and so it was like you're supposed to use like a hair dryer and like blow this mouse down this ramp. And so it was like seemingly like this mouse is like, these mice are obviously real. And then the last one was Fire. And what we had done was for the last one, we had like switched out the mice for like the little cat mouse, like the mouse toys, and we like soaked them in kerosene. And so it was like, and we had gotten the guy in on it, like the counselor that was going to do this in on it. Like, okay, like use the fire to like, make it so that the mouse will want to like, get down there farther. And so we open these things up, and he lights the lighter, and the mouse just like goes into a huge flame. And this guy, Morgan is his name, like did an amazing job of selling it. Like was like dry heaving and like just absolutely like, oh, like like just freaking out. Like, people were like up and like, oh my gosh, oh, you know, just like freaking out. So,
I love a good trickery from the stage. That's why I love magic.
Yeah, there you go. We also had have I ever told you about Tony Wonder? Tony Wonder.
From
Arrested
Heavyweights.
Development. Arrested Development.
What am I thinking?
Ben Stiller's character in Arrested Development.
Oh, that's why I thought that.
Yeah, but basically that was our villain one summer was Tony Wonder, and he would come and do magic, and it was so funny because he had a W, like a mustache or a goatee in the shape of a W.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
And he would walk out and he'd get everyone to clap with him. I mean, it was amazing. So, best camp memory, I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to remember just one. I'll tell you one that's not
proposing to Catherine.
Probably. That's a great one. I'll tell you one that's not even Kanakuk. One, have I told the mayonnaise story on the podcast ever?
Dude, I don't know.
If I have, I'll tell it again, and people will be like, "Yeah, look at the glossary, guys. It's right there." But basically, when I was like a 7th or 8th grader at camp, I went to this camp and I had the worst counselor in the world. His name was Corey. He was from Orange County. He was like the pretty boy. Like he was like all these girls had crushes on him, but he just was so unengaged. Like it wasn't like Kanakuk where like you were scheduled all the time. It was like you had free time for like 4 or 5
Way more
hours
laid
in
back.
the afternoon. And he just literally would like take naps in the cabin and like just not cool.
Good counselor.
But one of the things that we knew, like above all, like Corey, I think this is like kind of a common trait with people. Corey hated mayonnaise, like hated mayonnaise. And so one time we were eating lunch and like each cabin had 2 large round tables that they could sit at. And so most of the guys were sitting, at one round table. Naturally, Corey was at the other round table. And one of the kids like opened up kind of like one of those ketchup packets, but of mayonnaise, like an individually wrapped mayonnaise packet, opened it up, squeezed a little bit of it out. And then for whatever reason, threw it across the table to the other table, nailed Corey in the head.
Good toss, Bo.
And had all this mayonnaise in his head, like a good glob of mayonnaise. And I mean, we all thought it was pretty funny. This kid's name was Kyle. Corey's like, who did this? Who did this? And like, you could tell Kyle started getting like freaked out. And Kyle's like, I did it. He's like, Kyle, come here. He's like, he like is pointing like very forcefully. He just goes, lick it off. And Kyle's like, what? He goes, lick it off my head.
What a weird response.
Lick it off my head. And like, he was like wanting him to lick it. And finally the camp director had to come over and be like, hey, just FYI, we can't have middle schoolers licking things off your head.
Remember the child protection plan. There's no licking of any kind.
I mean, but like that is like a common quote in like anytime we spill anything, like even in college, like me and my friends, we always be like, oh, lick it off. Lick it off my head, Kyle. So that's like one of my favorite like camp memories as a kid. But yeah, I feel like we could fill a whole podcast with great, like small little memories.
Lick it off.
But obviously the biggest memory is just, teaching kids about the gospel and seeing them be saved. But in the meantime, we had so many amazing parties and hilarious things that we did.
Oh yeah. So many.
So
Brad, what is your advice to Tucker on film and shooting?
Okay, Tucker. People are going to talk about, shutter speed and iOSs and, Windows 7s and f-stops. I would just worry about, some people call it f-stop. Let's call it aperture. I would go -3.5 or so and just stay in that lane no matter how wide, how tight, how much light you have. As long as you have -3.5 f-stop, you'll be fine.
You'll be just fine.
Is that right? And whoosh transitions. Love the whoosh. Whoosh. Yeah.
I would just like to echo, piggyback Brad.
Hey, I just want to retweet Brad.
I just want to
harumph Brad.
I want to play some quick homage to Brad on what he just said. Tucker, sounds like you're in a spot I was when I first bought my camera. Just by the way, you said I just bought a nice camera rather than telling me the type of camera you bought. So that's great. Yeah, I mean, when I first bought a camera, I was in the same boat. I was like, I think I want to take nice or Instagram pictures. I don't know. And then ended up just like shooting a ton of videos because it cost so much money that I didn't want to waste my money. So if I were you, I would just encourage you just go out and use it every day. Take pictures, make videos. You don't have to post it. Just make a bunch of stuff just every day. Use it. You'll get better. Get some YouTubers that you like that make different styles of video. See if you can recreate their videos. If you can reverse engineer how to make stuff, that's going to make you better. So just use it. Use it as much as you can.
Do you remember a YouTuber that you really like to emulate? Yeah,
when I first started out, I really liked Casey Neistat and Devin Supertramp. They're pretty different styles. Okay. And there's, of course, Sam Colder.
Of course, the colder.
Colder
the better.
So you always say negative
Yeah.
3.5.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cold in Celsius.
I'd say 8K camera too, by the way.
8K, it'll pop on NFL Sunday on
And
CBS.
make sure you color grade every time.
God, a C grade.
And
Let's do
frame
tracers.
rate,
Tracers on the
FPS.
drive. Oh yeah, FPS is
yeah,
good.
huge for photos.
So yeah, those were big inspirations in 2014.
720p too. Like don't over try. 720p.
That's
is
fine.
720p is fine for the naked eye.
It's not noticeable from your phone from 4 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind.
There you go.
Okay. No, it's exciting, Tucker. We have one more voice memo, but it's a game. I think let's save it for next week.
Okay.
Um,
Wonderful.
but one quick
Thanks for the voice memos.
thank you guys all for doing it. One quick other voice memo, Brad, for you.
Oh! One more time. Bow! Hey, yeah, hey! Oh, that's when it like does the other thing though. Dun, 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 dun,
Do you think it's the part of the song where they've done like where they've started announcing it? Are they to that yet?
And now, sorry, Justin.
North Carolina, Michael Jordan.
Gosh, we just put that
Hey.
Let's put that whole like sound clip at the end of this episode.
Next job for us to do together. PA announcers.
Can you imagine a tag team PA announcing?
Oh yeah.
Why
You zig, I zag.
Why
You-
have one when you can have two? Huh?
we finish each other's sentences all the time, like
Yeah.
it's a 3 by
Peja Stojakovic! Sorry.
No, perfect. That's
I
great.
didn't know how I was going to finish it.
I think that'd be fun. Let's do our reviews of the week. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Mine is coming on August 7th, 2022. New favorite podcast, 5 stars from Malacator. I think this might actually just be me that wrote this, but it says, fellow Johnson County father of 3,
Brad.
Honda Odyssey owner.
Brad.
Here. Love the podcast.
Brad.
Love being able to picture the stories told on the pod.
That's easy for you
Of
to do.
course.
Yeah.
Found this through Trey,
You know Trey.
but this and Gene Shorts comedy videos have taken over as favorite podcast YouTube channel.
You are the Malacator.
They call me the Malacator.
Mine comes
Thank you,
from
Malacator.
Spacey Casey 92.
Space
Quick
Case.
question, Brad. What year do you think she was born in?
92.
She says, look forward to this every Monday morning. Helps make my Mondays so much better. I call Jake and Brad my friends, and my husband thinks I'm crazy. Brad has replied to one of my comments on Instagram, so I tell him he's the crazy one.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
This guy has seen my comment. Quick aside to that. I don't always respond to every email or comment, neither does Jake, but I promise I read every single one. Even if
Totally.
I honestly, the ones that are the most heartfelt are the ones that I struggle or responding to the most.
Because it's like, I need to set some time aside to.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And so it's either like, I'm going to do that later and you put it off, or then you forget about it. But I promise we're reading them and we
Totally. I could not piggyback that more. That's exactly how I feel.
Harumph.
We see everything. Yeah, you guys would be shocked. Honestly, when I was talking to Hayden, you could, like I said, you could tell it was the first YouTuber he ever met because he had so many questions. Like, do you guys read comments? And I was like, oh yeah, we totally read comments. He's like, that's so cool. I was like, yeah, it's
Oh,
great
yeah.
to know. I was like, I read all the podcast comments, but even a lot of the Gene Shorts comments. And I actually just now
Absolutely.
dug in today. First time ever I dug into my stand-up comedy special comments because people have told me they're all positive. I'm like, okay, I'll go read them.
Oh, you didn't? You like
Up until this point, I hadn't. I was like,
Really?
yeah. But everyone's so positive. So many like ghosties coming to bat for us in the comments. I mean, you guys do that all the time, but I just want to shout you guys out. Like someone will be like, man, Jake's great. And somebody like, you think he's great here? You'll love him on Monday mornings with the Ghostrunners
that's
podcast.
right, baby.
So Josh Katz, Elizabeth Virgil,
Come on,
the Hutchins girls,
talk to me.
Nina Nazi,
The knots.
who's the other one? Megan Pinder,
The
just
Penny.
off the dome. Got plenty.
Yeah.
Rest of this review says, thanks guys for a fun, clean podcast, but not being corny. You guys are the coolest.
I like that.
You're welcome. Brad, would you like to end this episode with a jingle?
I would. I have 2 jingles that I'm excited about this week. And so
Oh, baby.
I sent you both of the links and I want you to choose one or the other.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you which one or you just want me to click on it?
I want you to click on it.
Oh, that's fun.
But I'm a little bit. Go ahead.
All right. Hope you're quick. Hope you're quick. Good job, Brad. Good job, Counting Crows. Good job, Shrek and Fiona.
Heather Lee.
We're getting married to that
coming
song.
back.
Heather
writing
Lee.
this one. Yeah.
You know, you can just tell when it's a Heather Lee.
She
That
was-
one was very well done.
She was inspired by the kiddo at home cookies and milk.
That was
Yeah.
what, like, it started there and built out.
Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
shout out to Heather Lee. Awesome amount of jingles were written this week. And
Oh,
I just
cool.
appreciate it because sometimes there's a drought and then you guys just bring them. So I just keep writing them. It's so much fun to see them. And thank you to Heather Lee for this one. It's so much fun.
I'm excited because I know we got that one about Isaac in the hopper.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
We got some
Whenever it
great
comes,
ones in the hopper. I'll be honest, I don't know that song super well, so I'm having to like listen to it. It's so hard to like learn songs sometimes because you think you kind of know it. And so
and
then,
then once the lyrics go out, you're like,
yeah,
what song is it?
I'm not telling you.
Great.
It's a surprise.
Oh.
Let's just say no. Let's just say the dad was on Friday Night Lights, the movie.
That doesn't
Or
help me at
the
all.
singer. Okay.
Cool. Good hint.
People will know.
They'll know. They'll know.
There's only one singer on Friday Night Lights, the movie.
Oh, I know.
Do you?
Yeah, he was a deadbeat dad in the movie.
Let's just say if you leave a review for this song, it's got to be positive.
That doesn't help. But Tim McGraw.
What's that reference to though? What I just said.
I have no idea.
You can't leave bad reviews for this kind of business.
Oh, I went skydiving.
Okay, spell out the joke, Jake.
Was that it?
I don't know.
I wasn't even
Hey,
confident.
I
that
don't
was
know. Hey, I don't know.
I didn't even know.
Hey,
that was,
I don't know.
Is that a Tim McGraw song? I don't think that's a
Hey,
Tim
I don't
McGraw
know.
song.
Hey, I don't know.
That doesn't seem like Tim McGraw.
I don't even know if Tim McGraw's the dad in the Friday Night Lights movie. Friday Night Lights, the movie. Play some more serious, please. Do you have a song? Oh, that's perfect.
Hey, the audio version will have the entire thing on it.
I want to do an interpretive dance to that song after this is over and put it on Patreon. I don't know if we will.
I'll just leave you in the room to yourself. I'm going to go
just do your
upstairs.
thing, Brad.
Harrison and I are going to go watch the Woodstock documentary, but you can come down here and dance.
Speaking of Harrison, I
Nice
probably
guy.
this upcoming week, after you're listed this on Thursdays, his podcast, Sporty Good Times, I'm going to be the guest on it.
You've recorded it, or you just know you're going to?
I'm recording it this upcoming like Sunday or Monday.
Cool.
So he
That's
comes
fun.
out on Thursday. So yeah.
Sweet. Speaking of Harrison, I think our roommate Luke gave him COVID, so it's coming for me. It's just a matter of time. I'm going to stand my ground, though.
I'm so confident that you've had it and you just like were asymptomatic. It just didn't affect you too much.
Yeah,
There's no way you haven't had it.
I agree as well. Honestly, I slept 14 hours last night, so I could have had it yesterday. I was really tired. It was like 8 p.m. I was like, well,
I mean, yeah, the symptoms are like fatigue, and I haven't had any fatigue, man. I'm very well rested. I slept 14 hours.
can't get it if you don't get tested.
I couldn't fall asleep or I couldn't wake up last night. So
It was amazing. I haven't done that in a long time. Yeah, fell asleep at 8, didn't set an alarm. I'm like, how long can I possibly sleep? Woke up at 10 a.m. this morning. I was like, oh boy, my back hurts.
really,
Just from being horizontal that long.
that's
time.
one of the stand-up bits that I have. Maybe I've talked about it in
Yeah,
the podcast.
yeah.
Like, I'm
You wake up
scared to go to
sore.
bed. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's the bed is one of the things that hurts me the most in life. So I wake up with a neck injury and a back injury. So anyway,
Good stuff. Ghosties, y'all are the best. Such a fun community. I feel like I get reminded of it every week. Even Derek, he's kind of, I don't know if he really listens to the podcast, but he sees the Facebook group, he sees the comments,
yeah.
he sees the engagement we get, and he's like, this is awesome. Because, he's more on the correct opinions team. So he's always trying to figure out, like, how do we get what you guys have? This is crazy.
Yeah. And the answer is it's really hard to explain. Like I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it's like, oh, you just act like this and do this kind of stuff. And people, it's like, no, you just have to find the right people that really love you. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. You guys are the reason. So
Guys are great.
I guess all of you listen to Correct Opinions and that's how you get it. But
if you're going to be in Virginia Beach, holler at me. Let's play some golf during the day, or let's go just take a selfie after a show.
they have water on Virginia Beach.
I don't know.
Okay. Zero entry, I bet.
That's such a dumb name for what it is.
No, it's not.
Zero entry.
Zero entry.
No entry.
0 to 0 inches. Inches. Oh, oh, you're probably thinking it's spelled ENTRY.
Uh-huh.
INCHRY.
Entry.
Zero entry.
It's the first like couple steps. It's a 0 inch difference. You can't even notice you're really stepping into a pool.
Oh wait, did I say INCHRY? I meant INTRIGUE. I was just pronouncing it zero entry.
Dude, this is the audible thing. I don't know what you just said. I'm lost. Can you say it slower? I need it spelled out, or I need it.
Oh, did I say INCHRY?
I can't follow this.
I meant INTRIGUE.
I say the last word again. INTR. Dude, I'm visible or visual only. INTR.
IGUE.
Intrigue?
Yeah, zero intrigue.
I'm an idiot.
Whoa!
I'm an idiot.
What a joke!
I'm an idiot. I'm not an auditory listener or learner.
Wait, yeah.
Oh, I'm stupid. Oh, why do you guys listen to this?
We love you guys. Let's play some fun music in this thing. Have a great week.
If you're listening to audio, you get Michael Jordan right now.
Do something cool.